Well. What do we have here? We are in the building. Microphone check. Hopefully, we sound all right. Let's get this show started. Man, what up to my people, man? Right about this time, man. We get it started every morning around this time. We are back with the early morning content. Yes, indeed, man. I had to get these early morning shows back and cracking, man, because this past summer I was doing shows like around 12:30 p.m., 1 p.m. So I was getting started late. What I want to do, like you see, we get one in the morning and then we do a midday show. And sometimes I do back to back shows, right? So yeah, man. And plus this right here is the new channel. You know, my other channel, Red Supreme TV1, is, been shadow banned for a long time. So a lot of people don't know. I've been dropping content on a shadow banned channel for the last 3-4 years. That channel over there is not monetized, is shadow banned, but I still been putting in that work on Red Supreme TV1. Really didn't rap, no cap. I appreciate that. Man, time to get to the hard hitting facts. J.R. Meadows, Shorty McGriff. Yes, sir. Fresh always. Ambitions as a rider. Tap on in with your brother one time. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. I appreciate everybody for showing up. So, Dr. Umar says that the Hidden Museum is just a scam. It's just a hustle. It's a hustle for Tariq Nasheed to pay his bills. Right. That's what Dr. Umar said, huh? He's scared of Dane. I don't think he's scared of Dane Calloway. Dr. Umar feels like he's better than Dane Calloway because he travels, he does speeches across the world. He says that Dane Calloway is just a YouTubian. So he said, I don't debate people beneath me. I debate my equals or people higher. So that's what he had to say about Dane Calloway. He said Dane Calloway is just a YouTubian who don't deserve to breathe on the same microphone as him. you know? Shout out to my people, man. I appreciate you guys for tapping in. It is what it is. Yeah, he said Calloway is just a YouTubian, man. Don't know YouTubian deserve to share the same microphone as me. He said, I use YouTube as a tool, but I'm not a YouTubian. Words of Dr. Umar Johnson. What's good, fam? Tap on in. Where y'all at? Authentic and really in it. Red Supreme is authentic and really in it. Realer than rap, no cap. Giving you the hard-hitting facts. So tap in with us 10 times. Let it marinate on your mind. You dig? Yeah, tap on in with the brothers, man. We got some hard-hitting content for y'all this morning, man. Yeah. Huh. Soon as we get to the 5-minute mark, we're gonna start. We're gonna dive right into the show at the 5-minute mark. Hold on 1 second, family. 1 second. Let me fix something behind the scene real quick, and we're gonna get right back on camera. Hey, man, are you ready for that action? Early morning conversations. Can you dig it? It's Tuesday, right? It's Tuesday. Let me make sure. I know. Yeah, it's Tuesday. December 16th, Tuesday. Oh, gotta fix my camera, y'all. I gotta fix my camera real quick. Let me see if this is work. We're gonna have to put this on the screen and see how it's working or see how it's looking. Because we have to adjust this camera. Hold on 1 second. How does this look? Looks okay. No, I'm gonna have to adjust that. 1 second. Let me adjust the mic. Not the mic, the camera. Hold on. Make an adjustment to the microphone. Let's see how this looks. I think this might look a little better. Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to get I gotta get a different setup for the camera. And that's how we're gonna rock out, man. Yeah. But yeah, man, I've been doing FBA content for I've been going hard in the paint for the last 3 years, right? You could say for the last 3 years, I've been going hard in the paint with FBA content, man. Super hard in the paint. Now, I said it before and I'll say it again. Some of our FBA brothers was Pan-Africans 3 years ago. Oh, man. We got a lot of back to Africa Pan-Africans in the FBA movement all of a sudden, right? And I know who they are. Hey, them Africans gonna put that ashy foot up your behind if you show up in Africa. Are you FBA? We don't want FBAs traveling to Africa. No FBAs in Africa. So if you're traveling to Africa, you might catch an ashy foot up your behind once they find out you FBA. You FBA's been talking a lot of trash about Africans on social media. We don't want you FBAs in Africa. Remove all FBAs from Africa. I Mr. Ashy Foods. Black Americans, Foundation of Black Americans are no longer welcome in Africa. You might catch an ashy foot up your behind. So if you FBA, man, and you're traveling to Africa, be aware of the ashy foot. Be on the lookout for the ashy foot, man. I'm telling you. The Africans gonna give you the boot. We don't want FBAs in Africa. We're going to give FBAs their working papers. We're going to give foundational Black Americans their working papers. You're no longer welcome in Africa. So yeah, man, you better be on the lookout for that, man. If you're an FBA in Africa, them Africans said, man, they getting fed up with FBAs coming to Africa. Anyway, man, let's get to the content.
We don't need no more history lessons. We need building lessons, organization lessons. That's why, as soon as we get this HVAC settled, that's why, as soon as we get the HVAC situation settled at FDMG, once we get that HVAC done on that gym and that HVAC done on that school, I'm telling you right now, if you are ready to work, you've come to the right place at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. If you are ready to work, Africans, you have come to the right place at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. If you are ready to work, Africans, you have come to the right place at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, because there will be meetings for all of the above. There will be meetings for all of the above. You want to help us with the school? Build more schools, because we're not just going to have one school. We got to put them everywhere, brothers and sisters. Don't worry about the work on the school. The question you need to ask yourself, what institution are you building? See, that's the question. I'm taking care of my institution for the people. Where is your institution that you are building for the people? That is the question. Where is the institution you are building for the people? Because the Mink Slide Museum is not a solution. The Mink Slide Museum is not a solution. The institution you are building for the people. Because the Mink Slide Museum is not a solution. The Mink Slide Museum is not a solution. The Mink Slide Museum doesn't solve a single problem in Black America. The Mink Slide Museum doesn't solve a single problem in Black America.
See, he taking shots at the museum. He said the Mink Slide Museum don't serve a problem, don't solve problems in Black America. The Hidden History Museum is a scam. The Hidden History Museum is just for Tariq Nasheed to pay his bills. See, I'm building a school to educate the children. FDMG Academy. FDMG Academy. The Hidden History Museum is a scam and a hustle for Tariq Nasheed to pay his bills. See, I'm a revolutionary. I'm a Pan-Africanist. Dr. Umar Ifatonde, the King Kong of consciousness, the Prince of Pan-Africanism.
That is an economic hustle. Solve a single museum is not a solution. The Mink Slide Museum is not a solution. The Mink Slide Museum doesn't solve a single problem in Black America. The Mink Slide Museum doesn't solve a single problem in Black America. That is an economic hustle for one coon, for one coon, for one coon, for one coon, for one coon to pay his bills in the suburbs. The Mink Slide Museum will not address the miseducation of our children. It is not a grade school. The Mink Slide Museum is not a hospital. The Mink Slide Museum is not a bank. The Mink Slide Museum is not a supermarket. The Mink Slide Museum is not a manufacturing or distribution network. It is one man's hustle to pay his bills in the suburbs. That's all it is, brothers and sisters. The museum is not a bank. The Mink Slide Museum is not a supermarket. The Mink Slide Museum is not a manufacturing or distribution network. It is one man's hustle to pay his bills in the suburbs. That's all it is, brothers and sisters. We are talking about real solutions. We need to be buying buildings as a community. We need to be, we got all these black people doing real estate. We got all these black people doing real estate. Every other person I meet is a licensed realtor. So let me ask you questions, licensed realtors, because I'm not a licensed realtor. I'm psychology, education, and political science. I'm not a licensed realtor. I'm psychology, education, and political science. But the question I want to ask to all my black licensed realtors, if we have so many licensed realtors, why we don't have a building that has been designated the community supermarket so the agriculturalists and the business technicians can come in and open up the fresh grocer for the black community? For all my realtors, why haven't you found a hospital yet so our medical people and our black nurses can go in there and create a community center? All these licensed black realtors, and all y'all worrying about is flipping properties for your damn self. I'm hearing about realtors are multimillionaires, but you ain't opened up a building yet to serve the community. All these damn realtors we got, and ain't nobody got a bank yet. All these realtors, ain't nobody got a hospital yet. All these realtors, no supermarket yet. All these realtors, where are the institutions? All I'm saying, individualism will lead to the extinction of African people. Individualism will lead to the extinction of African people. If we keep on with this individual nonsense, thinking we gonna make it, we're all gonna lose. We all suffer from a collective psychosis because we believe I can make it until the white man pulls the chair out from under your ass. Okay? Divide and...
What y'all mean, where's the school? Y'all black folks ain't gave me enough money to open that school yet. And the white man got his foot on my neck. You black folks ain't gave me enough money to open up that school yet, the FD&G Academy. You ain't gave me enough money yet. Plus the white man got his foot on my neck, knowing you black folks ain't sent enough money to the FDMG Academy.
Conquer, on with this individual nonsense, thinking we gonna make it, we're all gonna lose. We all suffer from a collective psychosis because we believe I can make it until the white man pulls the chair out from under your ass. Okay? Divide and conquer, separate and rule is the strategy, Africans.
No, hell no. You black folks know you ain't gave me enough money to open the FDMG Academy. There's always something to hold me back. The white man got his foot on my neck, and you black folks know you ain't send me enough. You ain't send me enough money yet. We are trying to open the FDMG Academy family. To all my African family globally, send more money to open the FDMG Academy.
And conquer, separate them under your ass. Okay? Divide and conquer, separate and rule is the strategy, Africans. Divide and conquer, separate and rule is the strategy. I'm not trying to be your friend. My job is to wake you up. I am not trying to be your friend. My job is to wake you up. I am Minister of Education and Mental Health for the entire African world. I am Minister of Education and Mental Health for the entire African world. So they asking about FDMG.
Let me say this is the Prince of Pan-Africanism. Foundational Black Americans, you are not welcome at the FDMG Academy. Pretendians, you are not welcome at the FDMG Academy. ADOS, you are not welcome at the FDMG Academy. This school is for Africans and Africans only. No pretendians, no foundational Black Americans. No FBA will be allowed at the FDMG Academy. This is for the African family. This school is for the African family. This school is for the African family, the FDMG Academy, baby. The white man still got his foot on my neck, and you black folks ain't sending me enough money yet.
Renovations. Let me give you a quick update on health for the entire African world. I am Minister of Education and Mental Health for the entire African world. So they asking about FDMG renovations. Let me give you a quick update on FDMG. We looking real good right now. We looking real good right now. HVAC is currently en route to Delaware. HVAC is currently en route to Delaware. Once it gets here, it gets loaded up on the school. We got to tie it in and hope everything working. If everything ain't working, we got to get the HVAC work done inside the school. That's where we are. That's where we are right now. I'm trying hard to get this school done, at least the gym, because I want to do Kwanzaa or Black History. Black History Month is going to be more realistic, brothers and sisters. Black History Month looks more.
So now you got Black History Month going on at the FDMG Academy.
Is to get the certificate of occupancy from license and inspection for the gym, so we can do some Black History Month programs inside the gym. That's what I want to do. 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 I want to do some Black History Month programs inside the Nat Turner John Jacques Dessalines Gymnasium. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do for Kwanzaa or Black History Month. But y'all got to keep donating so we can cross the finish line. $sign FDMG.
I told you. He said, you black folks ain't sent enough money yet. We want to do Kwanzaa. We want to do Kwanzaa. We want to do Kwanzaa at the FDMG Academy for Black History Month. But you black folks, you got to send more money. You know damn well you ain't sent enough money to the FDMG Academy. You know damn well you black folks ain't sent enough money to the FDMG Academy. You know damn well black folks ain't sent enough money to the FDMG Academy. Black History Month is coming up. Kwanzaa. Dr. Umar Ifatunde, the Prince of Pan-Africanism, needs more money from the Black community. But then again, no foundational Black Americans will be allowed at the FDMG Academy. It's only for the African family.
Inside, from license and inspection for the gym, so we can do some Black History Month programs inside the gym. That's what I want to do. 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 I want to do some Black History Month programs inside the Nat Turner John Jacques Dessalines Gymnasium. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do for Kwanzaa or Black History Month. But y'all got to keep donating so we can cross the finish line. $sign FDMG school. HVAC for the school. Hopefully that'll be approved. Now we got a few more things that got to get done in there. Got a few more things that got to get done in the school, but this HVAC, once the HVAC is done, I think we are on the home stretch once this HVAC gets done. I think we are on the home stretch. Somebody said I collected millions on the school, so I'm gonna block this coon. Wesley Yelso, you's a damn coon, punk ass coon. Millions of dollars. We haven't even broken a million, you dumbass coon. Goodbye. I don't like.
Somebody asked him about the school. He said, "Oh, I'm blocked."
You got the nerve to ask me about my school? Blocked. I'm blocking you. You ain't got no business asking me about when I'm gonna open a school.
Hold on, Dr. Umar. You just asked people to send you money. What do you mean it's not their business to ask about the FD&G Academy when you just ask people to send you money? But when somebody says, "Where's the school?" you block them? Man, this is crazy.
Coons. Let me see if I can get rid of this Wesley. Wesley Yelso. Let me see if I can get rid of this guy. How can I get rid of Wesley? Dumbass Wesley. Talking about he collected millions of dollars, asshole. Ain't nobody collect no millions of dollars. We ain't even broke a million yet, jackass. How do I get rid of this damn Wesley? A lot of haters by the name of Wesley out there. I'm noticing that. A lot of haters by the name of Wesley out there.
I was not a hater. He just said we gave you millions for the school and we still don't have the school. There's no FDMG Academy. How do you call a man a hater for asking a simple question? He said, "Man, we didn't send you millions already. Where's the school?"
I'm gonna block this dude. He's a hater. How dare you question the Prince of Pan-Africanism? How dare you question the Prince of Pan-Africanism? I'm blocking your ass.
Let me see. Wesley out there, I'm noticing that. A lot of haters by the name of Wesley out there. Let me see. I can't get rid of this coon. That's all right. I'll get you in the rebound, Wesley. I'll catch you in the rebound, coon. But brothers and sisters, continue to donate. Continue to support. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the love. Donate. Continue to support. But brothers and sisters, continue to donate. Continue to support. I continue to donate. Continue to donate. But brothers and sisters, continue to donate. Continue to support. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the love. We getting close. We getting close. Somebody calling me on my phone. But I'm about to peace on out. Hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal. Don't forget, if you want to work at the school, $FDMG, FDMG resumes at gmail.com. FDMG resumes at gmail.com. Get them resumes in. Well, see, let me say this, brothers and sisters. It's not that they don't believe I'm building the school. That's not what this is about. The hate is not about me not building the school. The hate is about preventing me from finishing the school.
So he said people are just hating on him. You guys are hating on me and you're trying to stop me from building the school. Watch this.
School. That's not what this. Well, see, let me say this, brothers and sisters. It's not that they don't believe I'm building the school. That's not what this is about. The hate is not about me not building the school. The hate is about preventing me from finishing the school. They don't want to see me win, because if I win, we win. But they not focus on the we, they focus on me. They weren't about Dr. Umar as opposed to what this will do for the community. That's the problem. That's the problem. They're focusing on me. Okay, buyer beware. Sean Brown, you cooning, bro? Sound like you cooning too. I don't know why I can't block these coons today. What they call them, negative admirers is what I call them. They're not haters. They are negative admirers. They are not haters, brothers and sisters. They are negative admirers. See, if I get this institution up, we started with nothing in 2014 with a single donation in St. Louis.
So you started receiving donations in 2014. He just said it himself. He started receiving donations for the FD&G Academy way back in 2014.
Nothing. We started with nothing in 2014 with a single donation in St. Louis From nothing, we acquired 2 schools, 4 buildings, 2 gyms from in St. Louis. See, if I get this institution up, we started with nothing in 2014 with a single donation in St. Louis. From nothing, we acquired 2 schools, 4 buildings, 2 gyms from nothing. So if we get them open, you're going to start demanding more accountability from all the others. Once we open the school, you're going to start demanding more accountability from the others. That's what this is about. It ain't about nothing being fraudulent. It's about we must stop him. If he succeeds, we will be held accountable for why we haven't built an institution. And the reason I don't really take the haters serious, I don't really address them too often, is because I know we are going to win. The ancestors have already told me. I made a deal with the ancestors on Goree Island, Leo season, last week of July 2005. See, I'm giving all my...
So Dr. Umar received his first donation for the FDMG Academy way back in 2014. My goodness. Make sure that you guys bless the like button, family.
Let y'all into my power right now. I'm giving you my power. I made a deal with the ancestors on Goree Island off the coast of Senegal the last week of July 2005. And I told the ancestors, if you hold me down, I will do what I can to lead all African people to liberation.
Hey, that's a good question. How come Dr. Umar's not asking Africa for money? You said no pretendians and no foundational Black Americans allowed, only Africans. How come you're not asking Africa for money? You a Pan-African repping for Africa, but you won't ask Africans in Africa for money. So you want pretendians and foundational Black Americans to give you money, but at the same time, you said FBA is not allowed at the FDMG Academy. So why would FBA send you money? That makes no sense. Why would pretendians send you money? That makes no sense. Your money should be coming from Africa since you want to rep for Africans.
The ancestors, working through the will of the Creator, got me that school, raised that money, put me on top of Black consciousness. See, what y'all fail to realize is the energy that motivates me is different from the energy that motivates everybody else in the conscious movement. That's why when you listen to me, you get a whole different vibration. The hair stands up on your back. The hair on your arms stand up. You get the chills when I...
It don't make sense for him to talk all this Pan-Africanism. He said FBAs are not allowed at the FDNG Academy. ADOS not welcome at the FDNG Academy. Pretendians are not welcome. Well, then that means that your money should be coming from Africans in Africa. Make it make sense, bruh.
Open my mouth because the ancestors come out of my mouth. You think it's a coincidence I've been #1 for 11 years? You think that's a coincidence? You got Negroes going to jail, Negroes being accused of high crimes and misdemeanors. You got Negroes losing their mind. You got Negroes trying to copy what I'm doing by building fake institutions and museums. Brothers and sisters, it ain't no coincidence. Everybody's watching.
He said, Tariq, he said the Hidden History Museum is a scam and a hustle. The Hidden History Museum was built so that Tariq Nasheed can pay his bills or live in the suburbs.
For 11 years? You think that's a coincidence? You got Negroes going to jail, Negroes being accused of high crimes and misdemeanors. You got Negroes losing their mind. You got Negroes trying to copy what I'm doing by building fake institutions and museums. Brothers and sisters, it ain't no coincidence. Everybody's watching me. Everybody's watching me. They're like, how is he doing this? With no white help, no white support, exposing racism, being sad.
Hold on, but you're asking foundational Black Americans for money while saying FBA is not allowed at the FDMG Academy. Make it make sense, homie. You ain't asking a white man for no money, but you want foundational Black Americans to give you money. All of your money should be coming from Africans in Africa, not from blacks in America, foundational black Americans. No, sir.
Sabotage Pennsylvania State Board, and he still keeps going. I'm Ogun. I'm a son of Ogun. We don't stop. We the warriors, baby. We are the builders. Ogun is the builder. He is the warrior. He is the willpower. He is the epitome of testosterone, masculinity, brothers and sisters. No, I don't want to be no martyr. I'm not trying to die for liberation. I want to live for liberation, brother. I'm not trying to die for liberation. I'm trying to live for liberation. I'm not trying to die for liberation. I'm trying to live for liberation. I got the ancestors backing me up. You know I can't trust none of y'all. Most of y'all opportunists. Half of y'all who claim to be supporters, if you got into a room full of Dr. Umar haters, you would switch up. You ain't built like that. A true Dr. Umar supporter got to be like Ogun. Ogun stands alone. We will fight by ourselves. Most of y'all not made like that. Y'all want to be down with the get along gang. You know how many people said they support me, and so when they get around my haters, will laugh at their jokes and join in the conversation right after they left me? Y'all not made for this. And
well, maybe they figured like, well, Dr. Umar is not opening the school. He received his first donation in 2014. It is 2026, and the school still hasn't opened yet. So maybe that's why they flipped on you. Maybe that's why they turned on you. Why? Because they don't see progress. Hit the like button and support the show, family. $ Red 1803, support the Cash App, or you can support the Super Chat, by the way. Listen, Dr. Umar, you got your first donation in 2014. The people don't see progress. So they lost faith in you, bro.
I'm not mad at you. We all have our missions in life. I'm walking mine. We all got our missions in life. I'm walking mine. Chattanooga, Tennessee. I can't wait to see.
All right, now let's go to the let's go to the next clip.
Peace and love, family. This is Herpy Hotep, the Woke Warriors, aka Papa, aka the Prince of Peach Cobbler, and I'm standing outside the Jesse. Peace and love, family. This is Herpy Hotep, the Woke Warriors, aka Papa, aka the Prince of Peach Cobbler, and I'm standing outside the Jesse Jackson, O.J. Simpson, Ike Turner School for Boys. Now, people said that I stole the money for the school, and I just want to give people a tour of the school. At my school, we have state-of-the-art obstacle course equipment, because at my school, we're going to teach military science! At my school, we have multi-million-dollar state-of-the-art binoculars, because we're going to teach oceanography! At my school, we have state-of-the-art automobiles, because we're going to teach driver's education! At my school, we have state-of-the-art computers, because we're going to teach website development! At my school, we have multi-million-dollar high-power telescope. Hello? Is this my goons? Yes, this is Papa, a.k.a. the Prince of Pork and Beans. Yes, these degenerates, they're going to have to respect that I'm the Messiah. They're going to have to respect my divinity. I say they're going to have to respect my divinity. They're going to have to respect my divinity and understand that I'm the boss out here in the streets. And I'm, what? Nah. I got this. I got this.
Hey, man, that was funny, man. I ain't gonna... The Prince of Political Science.
Black American movement, the fraudulent, but listen, I do not endorse
He said the FBA is the fraudulent Black American movement. He doesn't embrace tribalism. Well, Africa is full of tribalism. You're a hypocrite. You don't embrace tribalism. Well, what's in Africa? Tribalism, separation, division, all over the continent.
Black American movement, the fraudulent, but listen, I do not endorse tribalism. As Pan-Africanists, we do not endorse tribalism, period. I'm not going to endorse the Igbo versus the Yoruba. I'm not going to endorse the Zulu versus the Xhosa. I'm not going to endorse the Mandingo versus the Wolof. You understand? I'm not going to endorse the Kikuyu versus the Maasai. I'm not going to endorse the American African from the immigrant American African. I'm not for Pan-Africanism means oneness. Pan-Africanism means
You gonna say it again?
oneness. Pan-Africanism means oneness. So I don't support the FBA. I don't support ADOS. Support the FBA. I don't support the FBA. I don't support the FBA. I don't support ADOS. They are nothing but reactionary, divisive, tribalistic Negro movements created by opportunists to try to get paid off of inciting division within the African race. I will not co-sign it and I will not support it. That's my position. The only FBA that I know of as a school psychologist, the only FBA that I know of as a school psychologist stands for Functional Behavioral Assessment. Functional behavioral assessment, which is an investigation into the causes of misbehavior in school children. That's the only FBA I know. Functional behavioral assessment. And I'm a master at conducting functional behavioral assessments. Great question, Sister Demi. I don't support those movements. Brother Frederick, when are you coming back to Boston?
So listen, man, nobody's asking Dr. Umar. You know what I mean? Nobody's asking Dr. Umar for support, right? Nobody's asking.
Your opinion on ADOS in the first place, and why is this? Why now?
For this to happen at this time, the year of return, a time of dual citizenship in certain African countries, a time where Africans in the East and Africans in the West are really coming together upon a solid program of Pan-Africanism, one would think that there may have been some government involvement in this creation.
My school is going to be for political science. My school is for brain engineering.
Of this organization. But I don't think so. And I don't think so because when I look at the individuals who are.
Let's go to the next clip. I'm going to use that one next. We're going to come back to that one. Political science.
Peace and love, black man. Peace and love.
Is that?
Yes, sir.
Whoa.
Make sure that you guys get the likes up. We got 500 plus people watching. Support the show in a major way.
Yes, sir.
My brother.
What up, King?
Mr. Umar.
Yes,
How are you, sir?
So yeah, I mean, we really admire, and again, lots of the arguments that you make, we're able to distill them and apply them, obviously not in different contexts, but it's really great how.
At the FDMG Academy, we're going to focus on political science. At the FDMG Academy, we're going to practice brain engineering.
You tease out kind of.
No foundational Black Americans allowed. I repeat, no foundational Black Americans allowed. I repeat, there will be no foundational Black Americans allowed at the FDMG Academy. It's only for the African family.
What's working under the surface,
yes,
right? And particularly about our mindset as well.
Yes.
It's a message of the fact that we aren't unified, even when we are working in the same workplace.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really support each other, which is a shame.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true, sister. And we got to change that or we're going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to turn us into a permanent underclass globally.
Yes.
Globally. They want to make African people a race of irrelevant souls. And they're doing a good job so far. They're doing a good job. And it's everywhere. Everywhere I go, we're under attack. Whether it's the land, whether it's the food, whether it's the police, whether it's the unemployment, whether it's the school system, whether it's the media, there's no place on earth where we are safe, not even in Africa. So we had better get organized or we will die. Organize or die.
Mm.
you know, that's it's funny. I was having a conversation with a Ghanaian brother at work today.
We're gonna go back to that one. Political science.
Light district. He wants to know why the foundational Black Americans don't like Caribbean blacks. Honestly, you should probably ask their quote unquote leader. I think their quote unquote leader would have a better answer for you. But as the voice of Garveyism in the 21st century, and as the voice for revolutionary Pan-Africanism in the 21st century, I do not support that organization or its rhetoric, nor do I support the other organizations that are similar somewhat in scope, function, and philosophy. I believe in the total and unconditional unification and liberation of all African people in the world. I do not put conditions on my loyalty. I do not put conditions on my unity. I personally believe that all these organizations were thought up by hustlers and opportunists. I think some of them are funded by the power structure to divide Africans against Africans. I do not see anything.
So he said that FBA is funded by the CIA, funded by the FBI. FBA is funded by the government, the CIA. In other words, he said that Tariq Nasheed is a plant. Tariq Nasheed was put here to cause more separation and division for Africans globally. So he said the man is an agent. Well, people would say that, hey, let's go.
Good coming out of these organizations. None of them have a nationalist bone in their body. Most of them just want to beg the white man for reparations while they hate on African immigrants.
Foundational Black Americans just want to beg the white man for reparations.
Nationalist bone in their body. Most of them just want to beg the white man for reparations while they hate on African immigrants, but do nothing about the real groups that are stealing and robbing from black people. They don't say nothing about the rainbow community. They don't say nothing about the white Latino community. They don't say anything at all about the feminists, but yet they want to demonize and criminalize African immigrants. I do not support it. All African immigrants are my family. They are my brothers and sisters. I have no issues with them. Black people are very comfortable at the bottom of the barrel. Black people are very comfortable being at the bottom of the totem pole in America. Negroes are comfortable at the bottom of the social power structure as long as they got a cell phone, a car, a place to sleep, and they can buy some fried chicken and go to church. They cool.
Somebody said that FBA is a bunch of weak-minded clowns getting pimped by Tariq Nasheed. So according to this guy in the comments, FBAs are getting pimped out by Tariq Nasheed. Indeed.
Negroes don't need much. All Negroes need is some fried chicken, a cell phone, a weave, a white girlfriend, some Jordans, a nice car, and they good. So it ain't just the leader's fault, it's the people's fault. But I appreciate David Banner. I appreciate Dr. Claude Anderson. I appreciate Dr. Mariwa and Ajwa Kwesi. I appreciate Dr. Leonard Jeffries and Queen Mother Rosalind Jeffries. I appreciate Baba Smalls. I appreciate Charles Finch. I appreciate Dr. Tony Browder. Who else? I appreciate Dr. Baruch.
Yeah, like any one of these clowns, I don't care if they're trolls or if they're YouTubers and podcasters themselves. A lot of these guys who are repping FBA were Pan-Africans 3 years ago. So I dare any one of these clowns to say something about me. A lot of you guys are Johnny come latelys hopping on the FBA bandwagon. You guys were Pan-Africans 3 years ago. I'm talking about 2022, 2023. How dare any one of these suckers say something about me? You're going to get pimp slapped verbally. You know what I mean?
Everlasting Life Cafe. I appreciate Queen Afua. I appreciate the brother. What is his name? He's a holistic health. I appreciate all the holistic health.
Well, you got a lot of brothers in our community who I ain't even gonna dive into that because I don't want the ladies to feel like I'm attacking them. I'm just really talking about the brothers. But anyway, hit the like button if you haven't already. Coming heavy in the game with it, man. Heavy in the game with it, man. You dig?
Native American Africans. All pretendians, listen to me.
Or the white Europeans say, whoever gets to leave and go over to your land. I don't know what lies you been getting from our media.
Let's get some of my people to bless the super chat and the cash app. We got 500 people watching. Get us some contributors. Get us some supporters for the beautiful work that we do over here. Give me your entertainment, education, game delivered in rhymes at the same time on a consistent basis, baby. Let's get it.
We ain't no Africans. We ain't scared of y'all. God.
Marcus Garvey was a decoy to lead Native Americans. I'm not a Native American. Let me get you off here. There go another African. He thinks he's a Cherokee Indian. Here's what I want to say to my indigenous, Aboriginal, Native American Africans. All pretendians, listen to me. All pretendians. If you are a fake Native American, I need you to listen to me really well. All pretendians, all Aboriginal, indigenous, I'm not from Africa, American Negroes. Listen to me really well. I need you to listen to me. All pretendians, listen. When are you going to get some Native American resources for our people? Because all I keep hearing about is names and titles. Where are the resources? I'm challenging the pretendian community. I pretend to be Indian. I'm challenging the pretendian community. I pretend to be Indian. I'm challenging the pretendian community to get some Native American resources for our people. Can you please do that? Because all I'm hearing about is a whole bunch of words and titles and name changes. Where are the resources for the pretendian nation? My Cherokee coons, where are the resources? Because telling our people to call themselves Cherokee ain't fixed no problem in America yet. Telling our people to call themselves Pretendicoons ain't fix a single problem we have. Where are the institutions? Where are the resources? Where are the opportunities? Where I'm challenging the fake Cherokees, the fake Choctaws, the fake Seminoles.
Now, I will say this. I know a lot of people say I'm Choctaw, I'm Seminole. Well, where's your land? Until you get, and listen, I'm saying the same thing about Dr. Umar when it comes to this Pan-Africanist crap. Same thing to him. But if you claim to be a Choctaw or Cherokee, where's your land? You got an you got an EBT card, but where's your land? You get nothing. So all my black folks who claim to be Cherokees and Choctaws, it's like, okay, man, until you get some land from the government, I don't want to hear nothing about no Choctaw Nation. I just don't want to hear that. The same thing, the same reason why I don't want to hear nothing about no Pan-Africanism. We're foundational Black Americans. I get it. You got blacks who are native to this land, but stop running around claiming to be Choctaw and you get no money from the government. You got an EBT card. You live off welfare. You live in a Section 8 low-income apartment, but you got the nerve to be talking about, I'm a Choctaw Indian. Okay, well, where's the money? Until you get some benefits from the government, I don't want to hear nothing about no Choctaw Cherokee Nation. Tell the government to break bread. You got all these white folks claiming to be Indians, and they got their money. How come you can't get money?
I'm challenging the Aboriginals, all of you.
Now, at the time, I got the same smoke. I got the same smoke for these Pan-Africans. Same smoke for them.
You Negroes using white people's words. All of you New Age Native Americans using white people words to describe yourself. Can you please produce some resources. What good is telling people they a Cherokee and you ain't got no damn jobs, you ain't got no schools, you ain't got no damn banks? What good is telling people they Choctaw? You can't stop no police brutality. You ain't got no medical services for nobody. Where?
Shout out to Craig Harper for the super chat. We got 500 people watching. Craig Harper was the only one that blessed the super chat. John Jay blessed the cash app. Out of 500 people, we got to get some people who love the show, who, yes, let's go. But we ain't going to spend too much time on that. I'm just saying, show some love and support. Foundational Black Americans. Listen, I know some of us might have Cherokee or Choctaw blood, but if you ain't getting nothing claiming to be a Choctaw or Cherokee, stop running around saying this with pride when you get nothing for it. You got white people claiming the Choctaws or Cherokee, and they get money and benefits from the government. But you want to say, I'm not an African. I don't have one drop in African blood. I'm a Choctaw. I'm from the Choctaw Nation. But you live in a low-income apartment. You got government assistance, but you get no benefits from the government. No benefits from the government when it comes to you being a Choctaw. You got a low-income apartment funded by the government. Please stop it. Until you get some benefits from the government claiming to be Choctaw, I don't want to hear nothing. The same way I don't want to hear nothing from these Pan-Africans. We are foundational Black Americans, and that's exactly what we're rocking with. I don't want to be a Choctaw, a Cherokee. I don't want to be no damn African. I'm a foundational Black American. Now let's set the record straight.
Is the damn resources for the Indians? Where is the Aboriginal Native Black Medical Center? Where is the Indigenous Aboriginal University? Where is it? Where is the Pretendian Cherokee Employment Center? Where are you solving our people's problems with these damn labels?
What I'm saying is this: if you claim to be Cherokee, Choctaw, and they're giving a white man money for claiming these tribes, but you can't get money claiming those tribes, why do you take so much pride in a tribe that you get nothing from? A lot of these tribes own slaves themselves. The Cherokee, the Choctaw, and the Creeks own slaves themselves. They give the white folks money, but they won't give you money. So what's the purpose in taking pride in that? The 5 civilized tribes have been compromised. They have been dominated and conquered. You got white people who claim these tribes to get benefits from the government, but you as a Black person gets nothing for it. That's all I'm saying.
Where? Not one of these pretendians has any resources set up for our people. All they're giving them is a superficial name change. A superficial name change. That's it. If I'm wrong, can somebody tell me? If there is one pretendian in America, can I please have a physical address? If there is a single pretendian community in the United States, can somebody give me a physical address? If I'm wrong, I will donate to the Pretendian Credit Union.
Yeah, and you're right about that. The reason why a lot of black folks claim this Cherokee, Choctaw, they want to be different. But they're not treated no different. You want to be different, but you're not treated no different. You get no benefits from the government. White people who claim those tribes get money and reparations from the government, but you don't. Those people laugh. And listen, man, I'm just saying, listen. I get it, but listen, you're not going to get anything claiming these tribes because they've been compromised. Now, it's good if we're talking about history. You say, I got blood ties to the Choctaw Cherokee Nation. That's good when it comes to a history conversation. But when it comes to tangible, when it comes to getting things done and what's happening today, you get nothing for claiming that. You got white people who claim these tribes to get money from the government. You get nothing. So a lot of black folks who be trying to say I'm Cherokee, Choctaw, they're saying that just to be different, but they get nothing from the government. You're treated just like the Negroes you're trying to separate yourself from. That's all I'm saying.
Can somebody give me the address to the pseudo-Cherokee Nation? I need an address to the Pretendian Cherokee Nation, the Pretendian Choctaws. Where is your land? Where is your institutions? Where is your army? You're telling our people to stop being African and come be a pretendian, and you don't even have a damn hot dog. Can they get a hot sausage with some relish and
Some people saying, what about FBA? FBA is the reason that you have civil rights today. FBA is the reason that you have opportunities in this country, not the people from the Choctaw Nation. The Choctaw Nation, the Cherokee Nation, these people did not fight for the civil rights that you have today. Foundational Black Americans fought for the civil rights and the equal opportunities that you have in this country today. Microphone check. I just shut you down, knocked you out in the first round verbally. I just knocked you out in the first round verbally. Foundational Black Americans are the reason that you have the civil rights and equal opportunities in this country today. The Choctaws didn't fight for the opportunities that you have in this country. The Cherokees didn't fight for the opportunities that you have in this country. Foundational Black Americans are responsible for you being treated like a human being in this country today. So you better thank FBA.
sauerkraut from your ass? No, brothers and sisters, I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm trying to read the word of the great.
Listen, I'm pretty sure we do have blood ties to those tribes, but those tribes are compromised. White people have taken over those tribes. So what's the purpose in running around claiming something that you get nothing from? Foundational Black Americans are the reason we have the civil rights and the equal opportunities that we have today. Foundational Black Americans are responsible for that 100%. Not no Choctaw Nation, not no Cherokee Nation, not no Creek, or none of that stuff. FBA are the reasons that FBA is the reason that you have civil rights in this country today, not the Choctaw Nation, not the Cherokee Nation, not none of that stuff. Now, it was cool to say that we have blood ties, but moving forward, we are foundational Black Americans because FBA gets stuff done. The 5 civilized tribes are compromised. They've been dominated and conquered by the white man. That's all I'm saying.
Greatest Pan-Africanist of all time. I'm trying to help our people understand and understand their African responsibilities. And we got Cherokees, we got fake Choctaws interrupting the live. We got fake Native Americans knowing damn well that.
See, a lot of people, you see the numbers going down, right? When I start telling people that claiming these tribes, you get nothing for claiming that. I challenge anybody who claims to be a Cherokee or a Choctaw, show me your land and show me the reparations you get. But I can show you white people who get land and reparations from the government. That's my point. So if you claim to be a part of these civilized tribes and you are telling people that you're not Black, you're Choctaw, show me your land. They can't show you no land. They can't show you no reparations and no benefits. But what they can show you is an EBT card. What they can show you is a Section 8 low-income apartment that they get from the government. They could show you that.
They got African blood in their body, talking about they ain't left nothing in Africa. Chinese geneticists have already admitted the original ancestor of China.
Shout out to Blue for the super chat. He said, I have a great grandmother that was Black Choctaw, but I don't go around saying I am, even though I've seen her paperwork. Shout out to you, my brother. I appreciate you for giving the feedback. I appreciate you for the super chat. All I'm saying is this, family. A lot of these people who claim these civilized tribes, they got EBT cards, man, and they got low-income apartments, but they get no land from the government. But they claim to be different from foundational Black Americans. I've heard some of these people say, I'm not FBA. I'm a Choctaw. I'm a Cherokee. Okay, well, where's your land, Cherokee? Where's your land, Mr. and Mrs. Choctaw? You got a low-income apartment from the government. Where's your land? Where's your reparations? Can you go to a reservation? Will they embrace you on a reservation? Absolutely not. You're taking pride in something that you get no benefits for. That's all I'm saying. Maybe you do have blood ties, but you can't go to none of these reservations and be embraced by these same people. So at that point, what's the point in claiming that shit? That's all I'm saying.
Was an African. Chinese geneticists just admitted last year the original ancestor of China was African. The East Indian geneticists have.
Let's see what Tariq Nasheed had to say about this. Yeah, people don't like to hear that. Let's go here. Let's go on over here. Yeah, they don't want to hear that. Hit the like button, man.
You guys, I hope you guys are up and at it and ready to chop up great game. I would like everybody to give me.
Why would you why would you want to claim a tribe when they give you nothing, but they give the white man benefits? Why would you want to claim that? They've been compromised. The tribes have been compromised. You might have blood ties. I'm not denying that. But why claim a tribe that gives benefits to white folks and you gets nothing? You can't go to those reservations and get something. Them people gonna say, man, get out of here. You ain't one of us. I don't care that your father or grandmother or whatever, you are not one of us. They don't want you Negroes on those reservations. Because if they welcomed you on those reservations, you wouldn't have a low-income apartment. You will be on those reservations. You will be on those reservations around your people, getting benefits from the government, but you don't. You're taking pride in something that wants nothing to do with you. You are taking pride in something that wants nothing to do with you.
A nice retweet. Let's see some FBA thumbs in the air. Let's see some non-FBA hands in the air. Let's see those thumbs and hands. And let's get some retweets. Let everybody know that we are indeed live in the building.
You're better off repping FBA because at least it's FBA, Foundational Black Americans, are the reason that you have the civil rights that you have today. You claiming a tribe that wants nothing to do with you. If you don't believe me, go to one of those reservations and see if they'll embrace you. Bet money they don't.
Ready to chop it up. Now, before I get started, real quick, I got to shout some of the regulars out real quick. It's going to take long. I just got to say a little something.
I know I'm hurting people. I know I'm hurting people's feelings by saying that. Because ever since I started saying that, you had 60 people leave the platform. You had 60 to 70 people who left the live stream. So of course I'm hurting their feelings, but I'm giving you the facts. I'm giving you the reality. If you a black person that claims to be Choctaw Cherokee, go to a reservation and see if they'll embrace you. Bet money they don't. So what's the purpose in taking pride in something when the people who run those tribes want nothing to do with you? They don't want you on their reservation. They don't want you on their land. If you don't believe me, go over there and see. Tell those people you homeless and you need to pay your bills and see what they do for you. Absolutely nothing. That's my point.
Brother Ani Asaru, Sister Rhonda, Brother Marak, Big Rich, FBA Tether Patrol, Aztec, Highland, the Black Nuremberg Facts, the Prototype, KK, Miss Skyline.
See, I don't care, man. I know we're going to lose people when I start telling the truth, but I don't care. Those people are fake anyway. Those people were fake anyway, so I don't care if they get mad and say, I'm finna drop off the live stream. Red is calling me. Man, listen, homie, I'm giving you the facts. I'm not just saying something that I can't prove. Take your black behind to one of those reservations and tell them you are a Choctaw. Tell them that you've been kicked out of your apartment. You are a Choctaw, and see what they do. See if they do something for you. See if they'll embrace you. Bet money they won't. Bet money they don't. So it sounds cute for you to claim these tribes, but in reality, they do nothing for you. They don't even want you on their reservations. And if you don't believe me, show up to one of those reservations today and tell these people you're a Choctaw and see if they do anything for you.
And I'm not here to roast them. I'm not gonna roast like I used to do back in the day. I used to roast very hard.
FBA is the reason that you have the civil rights that you have today. Period. All the civil rights that you have as a person of color, as a minority, you got to thank FBA. Not no civilized tribes. The civilized tribes want nothing to do for you. The civilized tribes want nothing to do with you. In the meantime, FBA fought for the civil rights that you have in this country. I'll rest my case.
Hard on Umar. I used to call him the prince of pot pies. The
Foundational Black Americans fought for civil rights that protects everybody. Now, you show me something that the Choctaw or the Cherokee Nation fought. Show me something that they fought for that benefits you today. Show me something that the Choctaw Nation or the Cherokee Nation, show me something that they fought for that benefit you today. You can't show me nothing. Take 10 seats. Be humble and take 10 seats. You can't name anything that these 5 civilized tribes done that benefits you today. You can't name anything. Stop it. Be quiet.
The Prince of Pepper Steaks, the Prince of Peach Cobbler. I'm not going to do that. I've been trying not to do that. I've been trying to take the high road, and I'm not going to dogpile on him because he's going through.
FBA been around since the beginning of time. We just put a label on it. We just put a tag on it. You know, but the FBA, we've been around for centuries. We just decided to put a label on something that already existed, you fool. Now, I asked you a question. I asked you before and I asked you again. Can you name something that the Cherokee and the Choctaw Nation fought for that benefits you today? Name something. Name something that these 5 civilized tribes fought for that you benefit. Name something that they fought for that benefit you today. See, we can name things that FBA's fought for that benefit you today. Name something that the 5 civilized tribes fought for that benefit you today. You can't name nothing. That's my point.
A lot. Brother Umar is going through a lot, and it's kind of sad. But I got to address what's going on.
You're an idiot. What I said is FBA is the reason that you have civil rights in this country today. The respect that you have as a black person, the respect that you have as a person of color, you owe that to foundational black Americans fighting for it. Now, can you name something that the 5 civilized tribes fought for that benefits you today? Name something. The 5 civilized tribes ain't fought for nothing that benefits you today. Nothing. If you go to one of those reservations, they wouldn't even want you over there. They would look at you like you crazy if you showed up to one of their reservations. I'm just saying. I'm giving you the hard-hitting facts, and I know I hurt your feelings because we've seen a lot of people leave the live stream ever since I gave them those facts. You can't name anything that the 5 civilized tribes fought for that benefits you as a black person today. You can't name anything.
With the FDMG Academy, you know, that school.
I'm talking about something that benefits you. Something that actually benefits you today. That's what I'm saying.
That he's been talking about building. It's been having trouble for a couple of decades, damn near. When I had a beef with Umar almost a decade ago, I told people the school was never going to open. I told people. I wasn't being mean-spirited, but
exactly. Those reservations are anti-black for the most part. You might have one here and there with some melanated people, but those are far and few. And if you want to prove me wrong, I'm gonna prove you wrong. Go to one of those reservations and tell them you a Choctaw and see if those people embrace you. See if they invite you in. A lot of you people are struggling, living in Section 8 apartments now. You can't go to any one of those reservations and tell them you broke, you struggling, you're about to be evicted. None of those reservations will take you in. They got nothing for you. I'll bring up Scoop. What up, Scoop?
Salute to you, Red. Salute, peace to the chat. Man, look here. Man, look, you can't let nobody tell us about our history. Nobody can't tell us that. We've been here from day one. Day one, since the inception of this country. The country was built by foundational black Americans, just like you said, Red. We was there. Just because we wasn't calling ourselves FBAs doesn't mean that the truth doesn't stand. Jews didn't fight for no civil rights. That was us. These people that come here, first of all, let me get something straight with y'all. Before y'all come to this country, learn the history of this country. Not what them folks done told you. Because they done lied to you. They done misled you. They done told you what they want you to hear. So we come over here with that anti-black racism and then get on us as though we didn't build this country. The traffic light you sit at every day, black man. That light bulb you use to turn on your lights in the house, another black man. We got black inventions all across the board, but you let these people gaslight you. No, FBA. I'm African, nigga. I'm African, nigga. No, you're not. You're indoctrinated. Go back to your homeland and fix that. Since you want to come over here and tell us what to do, how to do in the country that you wasn't even allowed in. White folks didn't want nobody else over here. They didn't want us over here. But the whole point is they didn't have no choice. So we here. They didn't want nothing else over here. Not no Africans, not no Mexicans, not no Caribbean. They didn't want nobody else over here. Now that we're here, you want to come over here with the disrespect, and then you wonder why we delineating? That's the reason why. Because of the disrespect. Because you come here and want to tell us about the land our ancestors sweat, died, and bled to make sure that everybody didn't go through what we went through. But then you want to come over here with that same anti-blackness and tell us in our land what we did and didn't do. Y'all got nerve. You got nerve. You ignorant. That's what the problem is. You ignorant. You very ignorant. You don't know America's history. You don't have a word. You came over here, you got your citizenship papers, and then you start walking around with your chest stuck out like you better than everybody else. No, take that mess back. Yo, we don't practice tribalism over here. Take that back to Africa and whatever land you came from. Get on whatever ship you need to get on. Get your plantains, you know what I'm saying, and get your butt back over where you came from and fix that. Fix your homeland. But you want to come over here and tell Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, FBAs, what we can and what we can't claim? We separated ourselves from everybody. We now putting foot to butt because we tired of the disrespect. Y'all ain't gonna come over here and disrespect us. You ain't gonna come over here and tell us what we did. We know what our ancestors did. We actually know history, something y'all don't do. You come from a land that's rich with jewels and everything else, and then you allow everybody else to come in there and take it. You don't stand up for yourself, but you want to come over here and so-called stand up for yourself. Go stand up for yourself in your homeland. Go talk to them about why they colonizing y'all over there. Y'all can't even get along. Y'all practice tribalism. You mad with somebody because he's Nigerian and you Guyanese? Man, miss me with that. Don't come over here with that. Don't come over here with that. And then you wonder why we delineating. That's why. Because y'all don't know history. You fed by the white man just like you was in your homeland. They coming over there taking your resources out, and y'all sitting up there nappy-headed, ashy, you know, fro looking a mess, beads off, little beady beads all over your head, smiling. Oh, the white men come and make us feel like we Africans count. We count because the white man come over here, we give him jewels. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't sharing nothing with us. What are y'all contributing to us? Nothing. What you should have to do is pay a fee to come to this country to foundational Black Americans because you don't belong here. You don't fit in here. You come over here and run your mouth and think you run something. You want to open up a little restaurant, open up with you foundational Black American Negroes. How you been here this long and haven't had what we have? Because we've been fighting the battle for y'all to even get y'all butts here. That's why. When you want to bring your little sideline butts to the front line, then you let us know. Otherwise, sit your butt on that bench and shut the hell up and let the starters do what they do.
Man, and I've been telling these people in the chat scoop, I'm like, show me something that the 5 civilized tribes fought for that benefit you today. They can't say nothing. Somebody said, well, the FBA wasn't. Listen, it wasn't called FBA, but that's exactly who it was. That's exactly who fought for the rights that you have today. It was FBA. Now, it's been crickets. I've been saying this for the last 15, 20 minutes. Name something that the 5 civilized tribes fought for that benefit you today. Name something.
They can't. They can't, Red. They can't. Why are we always trying to align ourselves with people that don't like us and
Right.
don't want to do what they think them pretendians love them? Is that what they think? Half these people that claim they Indian, they just as white as the driven snow, but swear to God they Indian all day long.
But look, school, this is the thing. The white folks who claim these tribes get something. Now, we know they're fake $5 Indians. The point is they get something from these civilized tribes. You claiming this as a Black person, you don't.
Hey, they got EBT. Here, get your EBT and go shopping. Slide on up there to the grocery store and get you a few groceries. That's your check for being a so-called Indian, and you still claiming that mess. You still want to be Indian. Oh, I'm Indian. I'm not. Anything cannot be Black because that's what it seemed like. Anything, you'll be anything but Black. You'll be a Siberian. You'll be shit. You'll be Kermit the Frog. You'll be Miss Piggy. Shoot, you'll be Conor McGregor. You'll be anybody but be black, right? But they want to tell us how to act and how to move. You can't tell us nothing. Go back to that homeland and show some pride, because you don't come over here and show no black pride. You side with everybody else. You come over here like, oh, I'm Indian, I'm this and that, and I'm what you read, and getting what out of it? What did you get? How's that making your life better? You can't live on them reservations. You living in the project with Pookie. You over there with Ray Ray. You over there, you know what I'm saying, living in the Section 8, low income. That's what you get for being Indian? Man, that just shows. And you ain't woke up, and that just shows you how they really feel about you.
I say this, Scoop, and the reason why I say this, Scoop, is because I've heard a lot of people say, I'm not FBA, I'm Choctaw, I'm Cherokee. Okay, can you go to those reservations? Will those people embrace you if you went to those reservations? That's the real question. I'm not FBA, I'm a Choctaw. Go to the Choctaw Nation reservation and see if they embrace. Tell them you homeless, you broke and struggling, and see if they embrace you. Huh?
Shoot, that Red. I done been over there before. They very anti-black. They about as bad as them folks. Like, man, you come over there thinking they finna embrace you as one of them, not gonna happen. They don't even want you on the reservation. They don't even want to talk to you half the time. They look at you like, when you leaving? Don't you know this ain't for you? No, nobody over here look like you. What you doing over here? Yo, pressing you. I know I done been, or I was on one in Arizona. I know how they get out. But you want to sit up and tell me that's what you want to claim? Come on, man. No, champ. What
you got
happens
some fool. Hey, you got some fool said I don't have a point. No, the black people I'm talking about, they're claiming these 5 civilized tribes. I'm not talking about the black people who claim these tribes that are not civilized tribes. I'm talking about black people who claim to be Choctaw, Cherokee, and Creek and stuff like that. But they can't go to those reservations and get any assistance or any form of help. Those are the people I'm talking about.
All them Indians out here in Cali got a casino. Where theirs at? Where the black casino at? I have yet to walk in one. Because I show walk in there and see them all dressed up. I already know who the so-called Indians is in there. They walking around to making sure the black dealer ain't cheating nobody. Where's the black one? Since you got so much Indian, how come y'all ain't got land at casinos that y'all live on besides the EBT card and some Medi-Cal or some IEHP? But you want to sit up and tell me this BS? Come on, man. Come on. You claiming it for nothing. You get nothing out of it. But you got a problem with FBAs. What I done learned, Red, black people got a problem with the truth. They can't stand the truth. They run for the truth. Black men will run from the truth. Black women run from the truth. The minute
you know how many black women start rocking with my platform because I was telling them the truth about what they're doing and how they embrace feminism but claim to be conscious, claim to be a Christian. You can't be foundational black American and claim feminism because feminism has destroyed the community. You're an agent of the government. If you a black woman, you a feminist, that's counterproductive to FBA. So what a lot of them women started doing is they start flocking to FBA channels that never hold women accountable. Like them FBA channels who just talk about tethers and white supremacists. That's where you see them at. Those are the common sections that you see these women in. And I don't even talk bad about black women every day, but it's sometimes at some particular point, I got to hold you accountable, just like I hold black men accountable. I promise you, Scoop, all them black women. Now, we got some new FBA women in my comment section now. So most of the FBA women you see in the comment section now, they're new. But the ones that you seen 6 months ago, you don't see them now. Why? Because they flock the channels where brothers have conversations and never hold black women accountable. Those are the channels they flock to.
And see, this is why we don't have black families like we used to. This is why the prison system is full. This is the reason why, because nobody wants to tell them the truth. Everybody just want to say what tickle their ear.
Right.
Because the minute you ain't tickling their ear, then you bashing. You throwing black women under the bus. You hate your mama. Oh, you must like white women. Oh, you against the black community. Blah, blah, blah. I done heard it all, heard it all. That ain't got nothing to do with it. You are not just going to run around and do as you please and need cry when things happen. Just like when you were showing them police videos. You know what I'm saying? Your ass want to sit there and argue with the police and then wonder why he snatched you out your car by your weed. Anybody with any common sense know better than that. You can't sit up and get nowhere arguing with the police on the side of the road. You're going to have to wait till you get to court. If you unfortunately get yourself in that situation, that ain't going to get you nowhere. Get you probably unalived on the side of the road and you become somebody's statistic. But they want to sit up, scream, holler, tell the police, I ain't getting out the car. I ain't doing this. But don't know not one law. Let me explain something to y'all. Anytime a police pull you over, you are obligated to get your butt out the car if they ask you to. Now, anything else they do after that, you're not obligated to have to answer certain questions. Learn the laws. If you're going to be out in the streets, you need to learn the laws. If you're going to deal with the police, you need to learn what they can and can't do. Half the people sitting, you didn't read me my Miranda rights. You don't read me my Miranda rights. Really?
Hey, Scoop,
Miranda rights.
Hey, Scoop, you remember I did that stream on that woman? I'm trying to think, was it in, I don't know if it was, she was at a school and she took her kid to the school. I forget where it was at.
Yeah,
And
I remember that.
Yep. Do you know a lot of black women got mad at that and unsubscribed to me after that? I looked at it and all I did was say, she's stupid. You're arguing and you have no win. And the problem is you got brothers in the FBA community who don't say, okay, sisters, we got to have a live stream today to get the sisters some etiquette, to teach sisters how to conduct themselves with the police. None of these simps in the FBA community. Now, shout out to the brothers. If it don't apply, let it fly. But the majority of these FBA men, none of them took the time to say, okay, we want to save our sisters. Let me do a video to give them some etiquette on how you deal with the police. Because what that woman did is she did everything that you're not supposed to do. She made the whole situation worse by doing what? Running her damn mouth, trying to win an argument instead of living to fight another day to get home safe with her child. What did she do? Argue. The cop said, listen, I'm going to give you one more chance. I want to give you, but if you keep running your mouth, I'm going to say, no. He like, listen, I'm going to ask you one more time. Be quiet and take the ticket. If you keep running your mouth, I'm going to have to take you in. What did she do? She continued to argue. None of you FBA brothers, none of you guys do videos saying, okay, let's get a black woman some etiquette. Because if you run into a police officer that's on some racist stuff, you're going to make your situation 10 times worse. The problem with the FBA community, and I got love for FBA because I'm FBA, so I'm not shitting on FBA. There has to be more accountability with the black woman. But too many of these content creators in the FBA community, they're too afraid to hold a black woman accountable for anything. At some point, you got to sit black women down and say, running your mouth is going to end your relationship. Because this is why you're going to be single. No man wants to deal with a woman that yak runs her mouth. When you encounter these police officers, running your mouth is only going to make the situation 10 times worse. Do you know these FBA women got mad at me for holding them accountable? And I was speaking in their best interest to protect them when they encounter law enforcement. Instead of saying, you know what, Red is giving us some game to keep us out of bad situations. You know what these FBA women did? I'm an unsubscribe. Red is bashing black women. Go ahead, Scoop.
Yeah, that's some BS. That I see it. I seen it, Red. I watch a lot of them police videos, and I see it because, like you just said, they keep on running off at the mouth, talking about Miranda rights. Let me give y'all some advice. Miranda rights are only read because it's in the Miranda rights what it says when they question you. If they not questioning you, they don't need to read you Miranda rights. You have a Miranda rights. You have a right to be silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. That's why it's called that. That's why it's worded that way. Meaning, whatever you tell them, they cannot question you without reading you your rights. Once they read you your rights, anything you say, they're not telling you you have to talk to them. They're saying, but if you choose to, we're going to use it against you. And then you still get to run it off at the mouth. It's like, do you not know how to shut up? That's the best thing you can do when you're on the side of the road. Police ain't gonna change when they put you in them cuffs. You gonna most likely remain in them cuffs. Let them do what their investigation or whatever, and keep your fat lips shut. All that talking, woo, 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 talk your ass. You Red, I see them talk their ass into them handcuffs.
Hey, Scoop. How many black men in the FBA movement say, okay, we got to sit these sisters down and give them some game and tell them quit and We're gonna sit these sisters down, give them some game, and teach them how to stop running their mouth. How many brothers make content and say, let's sit the black women down and give her some game? How many?
I ain't seen nobody but you, Red, honestly. You know what I'm
See what I'm
saying?
saying?
That's it. They scared. It's like, why is the black man so scared to correct the black woman? I don't understand that. I don't understand. Your mama corrected you growing up.
Right.
She didn't have not one problem correcting you, but you scared to assume the role as a man, put your big boy pants on and correct them when they wrong. You don't side with them when they wrong. Makes me wonder, like, damn, do you do that to your daughters? Do you not correct your daughter when she's wrong? Do you just let her do whatever the hell she wants? Do you tell her it's okay, baby, you was right? The bad people over there was wrong to treat you that way. Nah, I got more than one daughter, and I done corrected every last one of them. I don't care how mad they get. What I used to tell them, if you mad at me, I must be doing something right.
Let me say this real quick. Shout out to Ant. Now, Ant is a youngster, though. He 27, so he knows what's going on with modern women. So shout out to Ant, CEO. He holds the women accountable, but he stand on FBA business. I hold black women accountable, but I still stand on FBA business. So shout out to Ant. What I'm saying is the majority of these FBA men don't hold black women accountable for anything. Now, Tariq Nasheed already had Mac lessons, so of course, I'm not talking about Tariq Nasheed. He's been there. He's done that. He speaks on more political issues now. The majority of brothers in the FBA movement are too afraid to hold a black woman accountable for anything. Too much simping. I got to be honest.
What's crazy, Red, is they think a lot of black men think that's cute. You know, a woman with a mouth, she's fiery. I'm gonna tell you one thing, as a 56-year-old man, when you start getting older, that shit ain't cute no more, Red. That shit starts to get on your nerves because your patience starts to become shorter and shorter the older you get. You don't want no woman with all that back talk and all that mouth. That every time you say something to her, she combative. You don't know. You can't tell me the famous. You can't tell me shit. You can't tell me what to do, nigga. I don't need you. You ain't nothing. You don't tell me nothing, nigga.
Or they gonna say, you ain't my daddy. Well, you don't even listen to your daddy.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So how you gonna correct her? So when she get out of line, see, one thing I'll never understand, Red, is why in the world do these men allow these women to talk and get in grown men conversations? If I'm talking to another man, I don't need your input. I got this. You don't go back and go get the wilding out and come in. And another day, baby, did you tell him? Woo, woo, woo. Did you tell him, brother? Yeah, my man. Woo, 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 woo. No. If you don't sit your behind down, I'm gonna tell you to sit your behind down once. That's it. That's it. And I shouldn't have to say nothing else to you. You're gonna go walk away. You're gonna do something. But they let them run off at their mouth. That's why they act the way they do. They don't want to be corrected. They want to run the show. They want to put the pants on and be the man. They look at it as they equal to you. Any woman tell you that it's 50-50, she a damn lie. Because it ain't no 50. She just want 50% of running stuff. She don't want 50% of them bills, though. She don't want that. She ain't trying to do 50% when it comes to bills, but she wants 50% of an opinion. In other words, you don't get to make decisions without her consent. That's a weak man. You don't have to get her consent to make decisions. Your job as a man is you supposed to lead. That's why you get these women on these traffic stops out there running off at the mouth, talk themselves in the cuffs, but then don't understand why they going to jail. You driving on suspended license. You got no registration. Your tags is bad. And you got 2 warrants because you didn't go to court. But you sitting up here talking about he raised this, he raised this, he raised this, he taking me to jail for no reason. He just gave you your reasons, dummy. What you think, the law don't apply to you? If you know good and damn well, because I did it before myself, Red, I can't be a hypocrite. I done drove a suspended license, but I didn't put myself out there. I wasn't creeping around at 2:30 in the morning. I wasn't drunk off my ass creeping around 2:30 in the morning thinking I ain't gonna get pulled over. See, I'm from LA. One thing I know about living in the neighborhood is you gotta move differently when you know you dirty. You ain't got no big. What you doing that trying to go to the burger stand 11:30 at night? You know you ain't got no L's. You know good and damn well you got warrants. Yeah. Man, I stayed out the way. It was homie. Man, we had a thing back in my day. Four Negroes in the car? Hell no. We getting bumped. Man, take off them hats. Man, sit straight up. Stop leaning to the side. Man, no, you ain't lighting that up in here, man. You gonna get us bumped.
Right.
And
You gonna
all
wait. You gonna wait till we get to where we going to light that up.
exactly. You know, you need to learn how to move. If you dirty, why would you attract attention to yourself? We know what the police is looking for. They looking for them starter caps. They looking for them white tees. You know what I'm saying? They looking for the car with the music bumping. No, man, turn that down. It's
Right.
12:30 at night, man. Police can hear that for 2 or 3 blocks. You want to bump at 12:30 at night? You know we dirty up in here. We got heat up in here.
And
Everybody going to jail.
we hold
But
people accountable. Hey, see, Scoop, when we see black men get pulled over by the police, right? They're like, hold on, you was bumping music and smoking weed. You brought that on yourself. You can't cry racism at this point. But see, when a black woman encounters the police, even when she's wrong, we still gotta come to their rescue and call it racism, even when a woman was running her mouth and brought everything on herself. So listen, black women, when that white man shot Sandra Bland, you seen Red Supreme call a white man out. Now, when a white man do our women wrong, you're gonna see me call a white man out for doing our women wrong. But when I see black women just running their mouth, being ignorant, I gotta hold them accountable, because if we don't hold them accountable, what kind of message does that send the next generation of women? You're telling them that behavior is okay, and they're going to repeat the same cycle. So if you older black women don't listen, we're going to give this information to the women who will listen, because we're trying to teach them how to avoid a bad situation. Learn and listen. This is the problem. Now, shout out to the brothers. I don't have a problem calling the brothers. I hold the brothers accountable when they out of line. But one thing I noticed, when I hold black men accountable, nobody unsubscribes. We don't lose supporters. We don't lose numbers. When I hold a black woman accountable, that's when we lose supporters. So what does that say? They're not used to being held accountable. When you hold a black woman accountable, they say that you're attacking them. Why do they say you're attacking them? Because they're not used to anybody holding them accountable. So they're going to say that you're attacking or bashing them because they're not used to anybody correcting them outside of their white boss at work.
that's because Red, they used to female leadership. That's why they
Female
grew up
leadership.
with a woman running the show, and that's how they think it's supposed to be. Who's taught them how to be a wife or how to be a helpmeet? No one. They don't know that's not the life they came from. That's not what they saw. They saw their mama making decisions. They probably saw their mama talking bad about their father. Probably saw their mama talking bad about every man she dated. It was his fault. He did me this way. He did me that way. I'm not gonna take nothing off these niggas. They ain't this. They ain't that. Blah blah. And they heard that whole time. So when they grew up, what they thought family life was cussing a man out, telling a man what they ain't gonna do and what they ain't gonna listen to. They don't know how to cooperate and not be combative. They don't know how to stop running their mouth. They don't know when to stop interjecting and it's time to be quiet and open your ears and start to listen so you can learn. They haven't been taught that, Red, growing up. So they bring that to the table and then wonder why they got 3 kids by 3 different men and no husband. You ain't married not one of them. And why no man is looking to marry them, and the only thing they get is laid on their back and another baby. That's it. Why they gotta go to work every day?
Some idiot in the comment section, I guarantee you didn't graduate high school. Let me show you how dumb you are. They don't teach you how to be a woman or a man in school. You're not going to get that knowledge with the white man's education. This stuff is taught at home. It has nothing to do with school, you dummy. Let me say this to this dumb person in the chat. I'm a blurt your name out. He said, I guarantee you didn't graduate high school. Let me show you how dumb you are. They don't teach you how to be husbands and wives at school. This information must come from home. The parents got to teach you this. These people, you're not going to get this in your colleges. You're not going to get this in your high school. So what does this have to do with school or any type of formal education, you dummy? We're speaking on family traditions and how the woman and the man must conduct themselves to have a healthy relationship, to have just to have a healthy relationship. They're not going to teach you this in school. So for you to say you graduate high school, you sound stupid. I know women with 12 degrees and they're still clueless when it comes to men. Let me say it again. I know women who got 12 degrees and they're still clueless when it comes to men. Have you ever met a woman with multiple degrees and she got 3 or 4 baby daddies? So what does that tell you? They're not teaching you how to be a woman in school. They're not teaching you how to be a wife in school, but they are teaching you how to become a feminist in these colleges. You get what I'm saying? Go ahead, Scoop.
For sure, Red, for sure. Degree don't mean nothing. It don't teach you how to be a wife. I'ma say it one more time, and I've said it a million times in this chat. You don't deserve a man or a husband. You earn your man or your husband. I'll say that one more time for the ones in the back that didn't hear me. You don't deserve a man. You don't deserve a husband. I don't care how many degrees you got or how great you think you are. You don't deserve one. You earn one. That's how you get your husband. That's why we don't have families in the black communities like we used to, because they believe they deserve a husband no matter what they do, no matter your mouth. You still think you deserve a husband. You got 4 kids by 4 different men. You still think you deserve a man or a husband. You don't got nothing going for yourself. You still believe you deserve a husband or deserve a man. You think because you look good or because you got a gang of booty or you got a nice bike, you deserve a man. You deserve a husband. No, you don't. You deserve what you put out. And if you're not repping anything and you're not showing yourself as anything, and you got, like I said, 3 or 4 different baby daddies, you all over here running your mouth, you all in the middle of BS all the time, always kicking up dust somewhere, you combative, good luck getting a husband, because what man wants to settle down with that? I'm going to tell you one thing, and I'm going to tell this to a whole lot of black women that's probably going to get pissed off. You don't know men. You think you do.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. When I was dating, I got 7 sisters, Red. When I wanted advice about women, guess where I went? Every 7 of them sisters. She lying to you. She ain't still on her period. Periods don't last that long. She lying to you. Don't let that girl tell you that. That girl, oh, she did blah, blah, blah. She lying. She telling. Girls always tell guys that. Don't let her get over on you like that, lie to you. That's where I went for my advice. Women don't go to men for advice. You know what they go to? Another failed ass woman.
Another woman who's had multiple baby daddies and failed relationship. That's where they get their advice from. Now, sisters, so all my beautiful sisters, right? We're not bashing y'all. What we're saying is a lot of our sisters are so far gone that I got to give you this raw, uncut information, because putting on kid gloves ain't going to give you the facts. You're not going to get the knowledge. A lot of our FBA brothers, unfortunately, they're too afraid to hold black women accountable. So they talk about tethers and white supremacists all day, which is cool, because I'll talk about tethers, immigrants, and white supremacists. But at some particular time, I just did a video 2 days ago holding black gangbangers accountable in LA for them not being on code, for them attacking one another and not addressing these other races when they disrespect us. So if I can hold a black man accountable, I did a whole live stream holding black men in my city of Los Angeles accountable. Let me say this to you idiots who say he be bashing black women. I dedicated a whole live stream 2 days ago of holding black men in my city accountable for not standing on blackness. So don't come over here with that nonsense saying Red bashes black women. I dedicated a whole live stream to put these brothers in their place and telling them what they're not doing. So if I'm going to hold a black man accountable, definitely I'm going to hold a black woman accountable. The problem with the modern black woman is she was raised by a single mother. 9 times out of 10, her mama was talking bad about her daddy. So she got a feminist mentality and she's combative by nature based on her upbringing. That's what we must get rid of in our community. Go ahead, Scoot.
Facts, Red, facts. That you got to ask yourself what happened. See, this is what I don't like: the disrespect of women who believe that our grandmothers and great grandmothers was basically dumb for staying with their grandfather. Oh, he did. I done heard that too many times. Yeah, that's back when black women were scared to speak up. He probably had 6 or 7 kids by other women the whole time. Blah blah blah. I ain't finna be no dummy like that. I'm getting mines. I'm out for mines. I don't care. I don't need no man. I'ma go get mines. Okay, what is get yours mean? You gonna go out here and get a job? You gonna go out here and work every day? You can't work every day and take care of kids and think that's gonna be easy. Then what you teach them? I'm gonna tell you what most time kids get into trouble is because mama at work and they out on the street with the homies. He not finna stay locked in that house forever. What happened that day he come home from school and somebody knock on the door and say, "Hey man, can you come out? Come kick it with us." Well, man, I came out. My man, she ain't here. She ain't gonna see nothing. Man, come hang out. Next thing you know, he's selling dope. Next thing you know, he toting guns. Next thing you know, he joining gangs. Next thing you know, he either under a white sheet or he calling you from the jail. Talking about mama, I didn't do nothing, mama. These police just came through and grabbed me. Oh, my baby, he got my baby. He down it. So how you gonna be at work and be there to lead him and teach him? You can't teach him nothing. I'm a firm believer. Once again, I'm gonna say it again. I know these women gonna get mad, but when that, especially a boy, when he gets to a certain age, he need a man's leadership because you can't teach him how to be one. The only thing you can teach him how to be is a woman. And stop using boys to put your makeup on them. Stop letting them dress up in girl clothes. Stop letting them see your ass half naked and you getting dressed all in front of your son. Stop letting them see that because you turned him into a female and he gonna be nothing but a beta male simp because all he hears you bash his daddy, talk about how men ain't this, and stop bringing your little dates home to see your son. You don't do that. That's your son, not your son husband. It's a difference. And then we get these beta male Negroes that don't know how to act like men, and every problem they want to solve is at the barrel of a gun because they got female energy. They want to fight a nigga for looking at them, for a nigga backing into it, for a nigga bumping them or stepping on their shoe. That's female energy. They ain't gonna be a man and stand on business and say, "Oh man, I'm good, homie. You know, my bad, dog, my bad." Then you got two men that know how to cooperate with each other and communicate with each other instead of staring each other down. That's what women do. Stare each other. I know what that be looking at. I know she ain't looking over here. What girl, you got a problem when you keep staring? The men shouldn't act like that. But you can't teach a boy to act like a man as a woman. So when you decide to lay down, start gapping them legs, you start having babies, 2 or 3 babies, who gonna raise them kids? You can't do it. And I know a lot of them gonna get mad. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, no, you can't. Because look at the state of our culture. Look at the state of our young men that are growing up. YNs walking around with switches bigger than the most tight jeans they got on. That's somebody, baby. Why he out there? Do you know where your child is at? Do you know what your child do when you ain't around? Because it's a whole lot of somebody. This ain't no 1 or 2 incidents. They gunning niggas down at liquor stores, gas stations. They all up there hanging out. That's somebody, baby. But he walking around with a switch. He walking around with so much ammunition. You think the nigga going to a foreign country to go to war? But that's your baby, right? That's what you raised. Well, if he had a daddy, you can't blame it on the daddy because the daddy wasn't there to influence anything in him. That came from you. This is the problem in the black community. No correction. Everybody wants to hear what tickles their ear. Otherwise, they tune you out, Red. I seen the decline. I know, Red, you know I've been with you for a minute. I seen all them names that I don't see no more, especially in all black women. And I'm like, oh, okay, what happened to them? But they don't come back no more. They get mad.
Yep. They get mad. They get mad and they don't show up. But if you go to channels where they don't hold black women accountable, that's where you're going to see them. They're flocking to channels where the brothers don't hold them accountable for anything. You can see it yourself. You're gonna be like, oh, okay, I see you. Okay, this guy never holds women accountable for anything. That's why you're over here. He's not gonna tell you about yourself, even when you need to hear something about yourself.
Yep. And that's why I don't like, another reason why I don't like Umar. Because Umar won't do that.
He won't do it.
Umar, you keep telling them they queens. I'm sorry, everybody ain't a queen. You got to earn that title. Black queens forever. Not black queens forever meaning what? Meaning don't hold her accountable. She's still a queen. She can have 6 baby daddies. She's still a queen. She can be on Section 8. She's still a queen. She can be trashy, loudmouth, gap tooth. She's still a queen. She can not even know who the fathers of those kids is. She's still a queen. She could have lied and told some dude those was his kids when it really wasn't. But she's still a queen.
She got 3 baby daddies. She's still a queen.
Come on, man. So you gassing them up. So no wonder they don't want to hear nothing else, Red. They just want to hear I'm a queen. I'm a queen because what? Because I'm black? That don't make you a queen. Get that? I refuse to call a woman a queen. I refuse to. The only woman that's a queen to me is my woman. That's it. Period. You got to earn that title. You don't get to be a queen because I sure see a whole lot of jesters running around and very few queens. So stop telling them that, Umar, because you ain't for the black community. You grifting because while you calling them a queen, you waiting for them to hand you that donation.
He ain't married. If he truly believed that black women are queens, how come he ain't married not one of them? He ain't married not one of them. See, this is why this is a problem. You would think, well, some black women have figured it out, but a lot of them haven't. He called black women queens and he ain't married none one of them. None. You're the one that's calling them queens. Why should the man who are not calling them queens marry them? The man that's calling them a queen is the guy who should be wiping them up, because you're the one that claims to think so highly of them. So if you think so highly of black women and their queens, how come you haven't married one of them? That's a hustle right there.
Facts, Red. That's what he's doing, and he going after the weak link, which is the black woman, the ones that'll listen. Because you can't call men queens and get the kings and get their dollars.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna give you no dollars because you call them a king. But black women call them and tickle their ear, and out come the dollars, out come the pocketbook, out come the donations, and that's what he's doing. You a queen, but you're at the club every weekend with different men. You up there at the bar all the time waiting for men to buy you drinks. See, that's another thing that's on the black men. Stop letting these women get over and start requiring respect for number one, and start requiring that number one, they have morals before you even do. Because I wouldn't buy no woman I don't know no drink. I'm cool. For what? Drink for what? Because you black? Because you got a box between your legs? Maybe that don't get you no drink out of my hard-earned dollars. I work for mine every day. So you gonna get my money for what? No, it don't work like that. You nice at the bar, but you probably go home and got a gang of mouth, cuss me out, talk crazy, pop my tires, go out there and bust my window out because you don't like what I told you, or you don't like that I corrected one of your children. Nah, that's not a queen to me. You're not bringing me home to an already made family and call yourself a queen.
Let me address this, Sonia Jones. She said FBA need to start holding themselves accountable, where the man and woman, the finger pointing is old and useless. That's part of holding somebody accountable. I got to point out what you're doing in order to hold you accountable. You got to think about what you're saying. I got to call out something you're doing in order to hold you accountable. I just did a live stream 2 days ago holding black men accountable in my city, which is Los Angeles. I held them accountable for gangbanging and not standing on blackness. So if I can hold a man accountable, like I hold black men accountable all the time for many different things, I got to call you out to hold you accountable. Listen what I'm telling you. If you let a kid get away with something and you never say anything, eventually when you do call it out, they're going to throw a temper tantrum. Well, that's what a lot of women are doing, because if you grew up in a household and you never had male leadership and your mother was running the show, you're not used to a man holding you accountable. So this is why so many black women will say that you're bashing them when you're just calling them out for something that they're doing wrong. But holding the black woman accountable is considered bashing. When I hold black men accountable, don't nobody get upset. Don't nobody unsubscribe when I hold black men accountable. They only do that when I hold the women accountable. So what does that say about our community? They're not used to male authority.
Facts, Red. That's what's going on. Used to male authority. And we got another problem also. Why are these women not correcting other women? The women that know. How come you ain't correcting other women? Why are you encouraging them? You know, why are you enabling these women? If you know these women act like that, why are you hanging with them? You know, why you want to be around other women that don't know how to act correctly? You know, because I noticed one thing about women. They hang out with like-minded women, period. So that doesn't make any sense. Why are you hanging out with women that like to talk bad about men that ain't married? Why is a married woman running the streets or going out to clubs with women that ain't married? Period. What? Because you're supposed to be learning from the married woman how to get yourself married. You should be asking her what she did to earn her husband, what it is that she's doing that you're not doing. But you still want to run the streets because a husband ain't. You're not going to the bar every night. You're not going to the club for what? If you got your man, what you need to go to the club for? Because club ain't nothing but a hookup spot. Ain't no girls' night. I just want to go out with my girls. No. When you chose me, you put an end to that lifestyle. That lifestyle done. You're not going out hanging out with a bunch of hyenas that's probably gonna talk bad about me the whole time and get you to try to hook up with Jerome over there in the corner because he looks good, so you can mess up behind my back. No, not gonna happen. Yeah, but right. See, them the same type of women that's gonna say you can't tell them what to do. If I want to go, I can go. You can go. You can go all right, but make sure you grab that suitcase in the corner and put all your stuff in it when you go.
Right. And let me say this, real quick. When people say, what's the solution? This is you, and shout out to the ladies. I got respect for black women, because if you can listen to my channel and not get offended, then you are real women. The weak women get offended even when I'm telling the truth. But this is what I have to correct. When people say, what's the solution? You're not being honest. The solution is always simple. A crackhead who's addicted to crack, he knows the solution. The solution is to stop smoking crack. He don't have enough discipline to stop smoking crack. But ultimately, he knows the solution. The solution is never rocket science. A black woman, or a woman in general, who runs her mouth and is very combative, she knows that her mouth gets her in trouble, but she ain't got enough discipline to stop running her mouth. An alcoholic knows at some point he got to stop drinking to fix his life. The problem is he don't have the discipline to get to the solution. So the solution is always simple. The solution is rare. It's rare that the solution is rocket science. The solution is always simple. A person who goes to the casino to gamble and they lose their money. What's the solution? Stay out of the casino, stop gambling. The solution is never rocket science. So what I'm saying is this: people know what the solution is, but we're creatures of habit, which means they are used to doing the wrong thing. But don't get it twisted for 1 second. These people got enough common sense to understand what the solution is. The problem is they don't have enough discipline to stop doing what they're doing. Another example, a female who's a nympho. She knows she shouldn't be sleeping with all these different men, but sleeping with different men makes her feel good. But in the back of her mind, she knows it's wrong. What's the solution? Stop being promiscuous. Stop having sex with all these different men. So let's not get it twisted for 1 second. Everybody knows what the solution is. Most people don't have enough discipline to stop doing what they're doing, and that's the problem. The problem is a lack of discipline. Don't get it twisted for 1 second. They know what the solution is. Go ahead, Scoop.
Facts. That's the problem. No self-discipline. And 9 times out of 10, Red, when they think about having that self-discipline, they fall back into that creature of habit. They just continue to do what they've been doing because it's a whole lot easier to them to continue down that path than actually make a change. You know what I'm saying? If women should be out here vying for a husband, vying for a protector, vying for someone that maybe they're going to spend their life with or start a family. It's too many things that can happen. Look at all these women that keep getting unalive. Look what happens to these women on these dates. Look at what's happening to these divestors. You know what I'm saying? Look at all these things that's happening. And they turn around and say, well, why would black women are the least protected? Also, okay, if you want to take it there, black women are the least to listen. So how you gonna protect somebody that doesn't want to take it? It's like kids. What happens with kids? When your kids don't listen, what do? They go out and find out the hard way. And when they come back, you tell them, hey, I told you, you didn't want to listen, so you had to find out. I can't feel sorry for you now. You brought that on yourself. You was warned. Same thing. But they don't want to listen. They don't look at this black man as a protector and a leader. They look at a black man as an ATM machine. You're going to pay for my hair, my nails, my lifestyle, and all that, and that's what I'm going to use you for. But if any type of communication comes, we ain't going to do nothing but fight and argue because I'm a buck and be combative against everything you say. And people may say, well, don't deal with women like that. Kind of hard to not deal with women like that because it's not like they have a sign on their back when you meet them that says I'm combative, got a big mouth, got 4 kids at home, and I'm just going to use you for an ATM. You don't find that out till later on into the relationship. Period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why you.
And let me say this, Scoop, Kaya, and I'm going to pass it back to Scoop, but I'm going to say this, Kaya. We're not talking about that. We're talking about individuals holding themselves accountable. What I'm saying is alcoholic knows the solution. Don't for 1 second think that the alcoholic ain't smart enough to understand what the solution is. The solution is to stop drinking, but they don't have enough discipline to do it. A crackhead knows that the solution is to stop smoking crack, but he don't have the discipline to do it. A gangbanger who goes to jail back and forth, he knows that he needs to stay out of the streets, but guess what? He's addicted to the streets, so he continues to go back. But don't get it twisted for 1 second. He knows the solution is to stay out of the streets, but he doesn't have enough discipline to get to the solution. So what I'm saying, it doesn't matter if we're talking about male or female. People got enough common sense to understand what the solution is. The problem is they don't have the discipline to do it.
Facts. That's what. See, this can be resolved easily, Red. But this it's not something that needs, a whole bunch of thought. All it needs is instructions. It's like anything else. It's like you go to Walmart and buy a bookshelf and you don't know how to put that bookshelf together. That's why instructions are included. But you want to skip the instructions and put the bookshelf together by yourself and then wonder why the damn thing's leaning at the end. And why you got extra screws. That's why. Because the instructions was there. You just didn't follow.
And let me say this to this person right here. An overweight person know what the solution is. Stop eating and exercise. But they don't have enough discipline to stop eating. They don't have enough discipline to exercise. So the solution is never rocket science. Everybody knows what they need to stop doing. Somebody with bad breath know they need to brush their teeth. Maybe they're just so used to not brushing their teeth. Somebody who's funky and musty, what's the solution to not being funky and musty? Take a bath. The solution is never rocket science. The problem is people don't have enough discipline to get to the solution. You know what it is, but you know what it is. So when people say, what's the solution? What's the solution? Are you stupid? The solution is staring you right. The solution is staring you right in the face. Stop it.
What's the problem, Red? They don't want to accept it. They don't want to accept it. It's just that easy. When people get used to a certain way of life, they don't want to change.
They don't want to change.
It's when I changed my life, Red, for the better, it was a resolution I made in 2003. And maybe somebody can use this, but I'm going to say it. 2003, my resolution was to stay sucker free. And my life been so much better since I adopted that. Stay sucker free. If you're not in my life for a reason, then you only there for a season. And I'm done with you. I don't stick around for the BS. I don't tolerate the BS. And I do what I need to do to make my life a better life going forward. Period. I done been in that gangbang world. I done been through that. I done lived in Section 8. I done lived in houses. You know what I'm saying? I done had run-ins with the police. I done been locked up before. I asked myself back then, is that what I want for my life? Is this what I was put on the earth for? To go through this every single day? Nah, stay sucker free. I had to realize there were certain people in my life that didn't belong in my life. So that required a lifestyle change. You can't decide that you want to quit crack and still keep running with the crackheads. You're going to be right back on crack. You and crackheads should have no interest with each other if you're trying to quit. If you're trying to not be a 304, what you doing hanging around with a bunch of women, 304. You know they sleep with dude after dude after dude. You know they got 2 or 3 different baby daddies and think you're not going to wind up in that same position, that you can run up the chimney and not get no soot on your suit. No, you're going to be part of whatever you put yourself in. But nobody wants to hear that, Red. It's excuse. Let's see, with our women, it's excuse after excuse after excuse. And it's always, well, what about this? Well, what about that? Well, what about this? Well, how come that? Well, how come that? Well, you must be this and you must be that. How about you just close your mouth and open your ears and listen? It don't need back talk. It don't need all that. Woo, 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 woo. See, that's a red flag right there. If every time you said something, she got to say something instead of sit there and listen, that's your red flag that she's going to be combative. She's going to challenge everything you say as a man, but will go around the corner and listen to everything these hyenas tell her.
Listen, Kaya, nobody's around 304s and crack. Do you understand what an analogy is? What we're saying is a crackhead knows that they need to stop smoking crack. So the solution is not rocket science. A 304 knows that being promiscuous is a major problem, but she's been promiscuous her whole life. So it's hard for her to stop doing what she's been doing. Why? Because as humans, we are creatures of habit. So if you've been doing something for a long time, you know it's wrong, but you ain't got enough discipline to stop doing it. I thought that people had enough common sense to understand what an analogy is. A gangbanger who goes back and forth to prison, he knows the solution. The solution is to stay out of the streets. He's addicted to being in the street, so he goes back and forth to jail. But don't for 1 second think that the gangbanger don't know where he's going wrong. Damn, man, I was hanging with the homies and went to jail. He knows every time he goes to the hood and hang with the homies, he goes to jail. The solution is to stay out of the hood, but he ain't got enough discipline to stay out of the streets. He ain't got enough discipline to stay out of the hood. A hood rat ain't got enough discipline to stay out of the club. She ain't got enough discipline to stop hanging around other 304s. Everybody knows what the solution is. So when I see people say, well, what's the solution? You got enough common sense. You know what the solution is. you ain't got enough discipline to stop doing what you've been doing. Go ahead, Scoop.
Exactly, Red. That's why I made that New Year's resolution. I had to take a long look at my life. It ain't fun going to jail. You wasting time of your life. You know what I'm saying? You can't never get back. You sit there for 2 or 3 years this time, go back, sit there for another 6 months, another year. That stuff starts to add up. That's time you could have been putting your life in. I see how rappers go to jail and get ideas, because that's where I got my best ideas when I was in jail, because I got peace. I can sit and actually think. I ain't dealing with everything that's on the street. Yeah, I'm dealing with the politics in there, but that's where I got my best ideas. But funny thing, it seems like as soon as I get out, I forget all of my ideas and go back to what I usually been doing. And then I wind up right back up in there on some old mess, fighting another case, hoping, trying to see how long before I get out this time. That's not a life, Red. That's not a productive life. Not if you want to achieve something. Not if you want things. Not if you see things that you want or you feel you should have. You can't get them sitting behind bars. So I had to, that's why I said 2003, stay sucker free. And I've been doing that ever since. So you can't tell me that you can't make a change if you want to. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, to sit here and play this gender war as though black men are supposed to be the leader. That's the way the Bible and God has set it up. We're supposed to lead our women, not our women lead us. Not we try to lead the woman, and the woman turns to us and say, well, why? Why I got to listen? Who is you? No, that's the way it's supposed to be. We're out of order. Our community is so out of order is the reason why we have the problems that we have. Because you have people that want to question leadership. You can't go to the military and question leadership. If the sergeant gives you marching orders, you must follow those marching orders. But unfortunately, in the black man, for some reason, what we say and what we and let's get this straight for the ladies, get it off track. I'm talking about an actual man. I'm not talking about some Negro out the street that you met at the liquor store. I'm talking about an actual man that's about his and does what he's supposed to do. That's what I'm talking about. So when he instructs you his leadership, then you must fall in line. That's what you're supposed to do. Not constantly question every single thing. And somebody goes, oh, no. Well, so I'm just supposed to do everything he tells me to do and never quit. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's a difference between inquiring certain things and being combative about everything. And most, and I'm gonna say most, because I know that is over 50%. And as Red said, anything over 50% is the majority. So that's the issue. That's why we have it. Because if it wasn't like that, wasn't the majority, we wouldn't have such a problem. We have such a problem because it's an outstanding number. It's more majority than minority that we have this problem in our communities. We got more broken homes and more mothers that feel I can raise my child by myself. I don't need no man. I can get my money. Money doesn't get you companionship. I don't care what kind of job you get or how many degrees you get. It doesn't make you more attractive to a man because you got degrees and money and got your own job. The only thing that shows a man is that, you know what I'm saying, you're not afraid to try to take up the brunt of what you need to do. But that doesn't, on the dating scene, that's invaluable. It doesn't do nothing. A lot of women don't understand that. And I'm back to my point again, when women don't know men. You think you do, but you don't. It's a lot of the way men think, move, and feel that you have no clue about. You're just going off of what the girl around the corner said, what Keisha told you, because that's what happened in her life. But you never inquired in why Keisha's in the position she's in. But you want to take Keisha's advice. Learn how men think. Learn what we expect. That way, you will wind up having you a man that wants to marry you, a husband that will stick around, because most men, not saying all, but most men that do are great fathers. Most men are great. Look at the statistics. Most men are great fathers and are there for their children. That, all men is this, and men don't take care of their kids. That's what the white man has indoctrinated you to believe. And because maybe you hang around a whole bunch of ratchets or whatever, and you see them going through it, you're not inquiring how they got themselves to that position. A lot of these women don't deserve a man because look at who they are and how they carry themselves. You really think that a man should stay when she's got 3 or 4 different baby daddies? She's loud, she's ratchet, she don't know how to conduct herself, and she questions everything. A man that got his stuff together not gonna deal with no woman like that at all. So you out here looking for a man that got everything together, you're not compatible with that man. You're not what he's looking for, so he's going to overlook you. So, yeah, you're going to get the hood Negroes. And guess what you get with hood Negroes? just how you're
Told
getting
people then.
done.
That's good.
Yeah, and you got Kaya up here saying leave certain women alone. Kaya, what you don't understand is this. We're speaking about things in general. Most of us with common sense are not dealing with women like that. Why do you think these women? There's good reason for some of these women not getting wiped up. Now, I hold the black man accountable too. Don't make babies if you're not willing to take care of them. I hold those men accountable as well. Stop gang banging. Quit putting gang culture before your blackness. So I've held black men accountable. I hold black men accountable. Listen, I've held black men accountable a lot for that behavior. So I don't know what you're talking about.
She just babbling, Red. She babbling.
That was
She's
a
not
whole
Yeah,
really making any point.
yeah, she just like you said, man. She just Kaya, you're babbling. Hey, listen, if these women ain't getting married, what does that tell you? That means that a lot of men ain't dealing with them. They're just having sex with them. Use common sense. And my thing is this: if you get a black man and a black female and a black, I'm gonna say male and female because they're not men and they're not women, especially if you're raised in a single mother-led home. There's a lot of lessons, valuable lessons that you missed out on, especially if you didn't have male authority or male leadership. So let me say this. How you gonna criticize the man because if the same black man you complain about, he grew up in the same household with you. You grew up in a household with a unruly single mother, just like that man. So you're lost when it comes to being a woman, just like he's lost when it comes to being a man. So you have two broken individuals getting together, trying to start families. And what do? They create more broken families. They repeat the cycle. She's not used to male leadership. He was raised by a woman. He don't have a problem with a woman running her mouth because he grew up in a household with his mama and his auntie running their mouth. So he don't have a problem with a ratchet, unruly woman. Why? Because that behavior to him is common because he grew up seeing his mama and aunties doing that.
Yep, yep. That's my point, Red. But that's got to change in our communities. It has to change. But a lot of women don't want to hear the truth, so that's why they run from this platform. You one of the only ones, Red, to keep it 100 every single time. You keep it a stack with the men, with the migrants, with the black women. You keep it a stack. So anybody that's gonna come over here and say those things either ain't listen to your platform or they're just coming to be, as I said, combative.
That's what a lot of them are doing. When I look at the number of cash apps we get and the number of likes, how long it took to get to 300, it shows me that we got a lot of trolls and a lot of fake FBA people. Because if you're a real foundational black American, you ain't gonna have a problem with what I'm saying because you know that I'm addressing every problem from the men to the women to the immigrants to the tethers and white supremacists. I'm breaking everything down and putting these things in proper perspective. So if you got a problem with my content, then you're not a real FBA. You want somebody to pander to you. You women who used to be over here, you flock to channels where men don't hold you accountable for anything. How can you grow if a man is not going to be honest with you? See, this is the thing. They say, we want men, we want you to be honest, don't lie to you. No, but you flock to channels where men only pander to you. If black women didn't like being lied to, then Dr. Umar platform wouldn't be so big. Black queens forever, but he ain't married not one black woman. You women love being lied to. Why do you think listen, homie, Derek Jackson got rich lying to black women? He didn't get rich being honest with them. So you flock to channels where men gonna tell you what you want to hear. So stop telling us that you want to hear the truth when it's clear to see that you flock to channels where men either lie to you or never hold you accountable for anything. Those are the channels that you guys flock to for the most part.
They don't want to hear the truth, Red. That's a lie. That's just something that sounds good on paper. That's it. Because if you tell a black woman she's fat and overweight, she gonna say you bashing her. If you, I know I've done it. I've had black women ask me things like that. Well, I don't know what's going on. I want a husband. Blah blah blah. I'm like, man, well, maybe if you lose some of that weight. This ain't nothing but baby fat, baby girl. That's not baby fat. You 270. And you 275.6. That's not baby fat. You're overweight. Stay your butt out the Haagen-Dazs. Stay your butt out the candy shops. Stay out the drive-thrus getting all that fast food. That's what's wrong with you. You're overweight. You go have to get on a treadmill, join a gym or something. First thing they're gonna say is you bashing. You this, you that. You just don't like black women. No, you ask me a question and I'm honest with you. I'm gonna tell you what other men won't tell you and won't tell you by what they see because they just want to hit First of all, you overweight. First thing a man says, you got low self-esteem. Number two, first thing a man says is, I should be able to hit easy because I know you ain't got Negroes beating down your door trying to be your man, so you going to believe anything I say. Number three, oh, you got a job? Okay, I'm going to get some of that check. I'm going to get some of that money. I'm going to get some of that bread. Number four, you got a little apartment. Okay, I'm going to move in there and run that. He don't love you. He has no intention of marrying you. But the minute I point that out, you get mad at me talking about, I'm bashing you. I got a problem with you. You just don't like black women. I mean, I done heard it all. I'm like, okay, so you don't want the truth. There's nothing worse than trying to tell a black woman that she's overrated and think she's going to accept it. No, she's not. She gonna say she's thick.
Yeah, and like I said, this we speak the truth over here. Like, if black women love the truth, Derrick Jackson platform would have never got that large. It would have never got that large, right? Because he told black women that black men were dogs and this and that for cheating on their wives. And what did he do? The whole time he was cheating on his wife, pandering to them for easy money. Dr. Umar tell you guys black queens forever and snow bunnies never, and he ain't married not one black woman. So it shows that there's more money in telling black women what they want to hear opposed to telling them the truth. See, you can't make money lying to black men because black men ain't going to pay you to tell them lies. No, black women, they will support you to lie to them. Listen, these are two ways that black women will support you. If you lie to them, you can make a whole lot of money. Just call them queens and say nice things. Or if you never hold them accountable for anything. If you a black man that makes FBA content and you never hold black women accountable for anything, you're going to have a lot of black female supporters. If you don't believe me, look at these FBA channels that never hold black women accountable for anything. You're going to see a lot of black women in those comment sections. I promise you.
Facts. What man, see, that's why I say women don't know men, Red. What man don't want feminine, fit, and friendly? Those are three requirements that most men are going to want if they're trying to wife you. If a man just trying to hit, there ain't no requirements. My thing is like, you take showers, baby. You see what's in the mirror. You gonna tell yourself that men want that? You up there looking like the Michelin Man. You got rolls on top of rolls. You wave your arms, fat is swinging back and forth, and you're gonna tell me that some man wants that. There's a lot of men like thick women, baby. That's not thick. You're not even in shape. That's diabetes. That's a heart attack waiting to happen. There's gonna be things that he might want to buy you or take you to the store and think you look cute in. They're not gonna make it for you. You may try to squeeze in it, but what man is going to walk down the street with you with that on? Knowing you got meat hanging out of every pocket. You're fat, you're overweight, accept it. If you want better, then you gotta do better. But they don't want to hear that, Red. So that just proves with places things like Kevin, Umar, and a lot of these other supposed to call conscious platforms, they're not gonna tell them the truth. They're not gonna tell them what the problem is. How come they're not telling them what it takes to be a wife? They're not telling them that. They just, accept me as I am. I got bad eating habits and I got bad kids. And I want the top of the line black man. And why I'm not getting, that's why I respect Kevin Samuels, because Kevin Samuels told them how it was. But they labeled Kevin Samuels a black woman hater. He don't even date black women, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I heard it all. I'm like, so you disrespect the man because he's telling y'all the truth. But Kevin Samuels, what a lot of people don't understand, was on black men before he got to black women. And nobody batted an eye when he was talking about what black men need to do.
Right. He started out telling black men what they needed to do, and nobody had a problem with that. You know, they never had a problem with that. But the thing is, like, yes, black men, we got a lot of things that we need to fix. This black on black violence, this gang banging. If we gonna gang bang for something, we need to gang bang for blackness. So I hold black men accountable all the time for being counterproductive. I hold black men in my city, the city that I'm from, which is Los Angeles. I've done several streams about black men in Los Angeles and what they need to stop doing and how they need to be more active when it comes to pro-blackness instead of putting gang banging ahead of their race. So I've been holding black men accountable for a long time. It'd be one thing if I never held the black man accountable and just spoke on the black woman. No, I speak on the black man and the black woman equally. I call out black men for the degenerate things they do. I call out black women for the degenerate things they do. So that's just the reality. That's the content that I bring. Now, what I notice is this. A lot of these people are flip-floppers. They flock to channels where people just will tickle their ear and tell them what they want to hear. If you're listening to a man, if you're listening to a guy who claims to love FBA, but he never takes the time to correct the women, he's pandering 100%. How you gonna claim to be FBA but never hold the women accountable for anything? I'm not saying you got to make videos every day bashing them, but if you never hold a black woman accountable, listen. If the black woman is the least married woman in America, if the black woman aborts her babies more so than any other race of woman, and you never take the time to address that as an FBA content creator, and you a grown-ass man, at that point, you're just pandering. You're saying things, you're pandering to them to get their money, but you're not being honest with them about their degenerate behavior. How can we say we love FBA, but we won't address, hold on, if the black woman is the least married woman, that's a problem. The black woman files for divorce at the highest rate. She's the least married, but filed for divorce at the highest rate. How you claim to love FBA, but you never take the time to address that. And that's a major problem to our progress.
That's a fact, Red. That's a fact. It's the same way as a child. If you tell a child what they need to hear, not what they want to hear, what do? They get upset. They don't want to listen. But you tell them, like most good parents going to say, if I didn't love you, I wouldn't address these things. I wouldn't tell you. Why you always on me? Because I love you. That's why. If I see you doing wrong or going the wrong route, yeah, I'm going to speak up. If I didn't love you, I'd let you do whatever the hell you want to do, and whatever consequences come your way, come your way. I'd be like, oh, well, not my problem. Period. It's the same thing. The black woman has been off code and out of order for a while. So what I don't understand is if they want protection and they want the black man to love them, marry them, be with them, then you're going to have to accept that correction. Don't wait till he get with Becky and be like, he couldn't find a good black woman. He couldn't find no black woman. There ain't enough black women out here. Okay, well, then you need to address your black women, your black sisters. You need to address them. Wait a minute. Let's pull it back. Let's find out what we doing wrong and start doing better. So we more desirable to our black men. You off code, but you expect a black man to want you no matter what. And black men, I gotta address you too. The ones that's like that, stop giving them that attention. Stop gassing their heads up. Stop popping babies in them. Because the only thing it's doing to the black woman is pumping her head up more and more and more. She's going to get more unruly. She's going to look at it. See, I'm 325 pounds. All the men want me. I don't have no problem getting no man. While she's sitting up there eating on some greasy chicken. But ain't nobody saying that to her. Y'all still running home with her at night. No, creeping around with her at 2 a.m. in the morning, but when it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and she want to come see you, talking about, I don't know who that is. She know your name, dog. Why she calling you? I don't know. She must have heard my name from somebody else. I don't know who that girl is. Yeah, you know, because at 2 a.m. you know her every damn night. Those are things that got to be addressed, Red. That's why I mess with you. You my boy. You know that. I'm saying we share the same neighborhood. We both from LA. You know what I'm saying? And you rock the way you rock. You put everybody and everything in perspective. You not biased. You keep it 100. It's these other platforms need to take note from you, my guy, because they not keeping it 100. They causing this problem. That's why we had these problems, because ain't nobody. See, these women shouldn't have nowhere to turn, because everywhere they go, should be hearing the same thing. They should be like, you know what? I'm hearing it way too much. Maybe I need to get myself together. Maybe I need to do a 2003 a sucker-free New Year's resolution. Maybe that's what I need to do, because something is off here, because I'm not getting married. These men are just coming and laying me down at night, whatever the case may be. Nobody doing nothing for me. I don't really have that much of a lot moving around from man to man, having kid after kid after kid. So maybe what I'm being told is real, and I need to start listening. So, as they say, each one teach one. So now what you get her acting a certain way. Now her little comrades start acting a certain way. Then more of them start getting on code and start deciding, yeah, we do got a problem that needs to be fixed. So now the women that don't want to act start getting shamed by other women, because apparently the black man shaming them don't mean nothing to them. We can shame them all day. They can care less.
Yeah, you made a good point. If all black men stood on business, then they would realize there's nowhere to run to. Obviously, there's a problem. But if you can run to another platform, then they can say, oh, that's just Red Supreme on the BS. Because I go to these other FBA channels and they never hold us accountable for anything. So these are men. Men are the problem. They'll be honest with men about what they need to do, but they're not being honest with the women. every corner they turn, black men should be saying the same thing. And if they knew that, they would say, okay, I got to get my stuff together, because all these black men are saying the same thing. There's nowhere to run to. There's nowhere to hide. But when you got FBA channels where men never hold black women accountable for anything, those guys right there are the problem right there, brother.
Long as our marriage rate is in the toilet red, we know we got a problem. Marriage rate is what, down to what, 30% in the black community, somewhere down there, when we used to have 70 and 80% marriages in our communities.
Yeah.
They need to ask themselves what went wrong.
And how you gonna claim to love? My thing is this: how you claim to love FBA, but you want to address the fact why the black woman is the least married? Nobody aborts their babies as much as the black woman. Nobody files for divorce as much as the black woman. But you got FBA content creators who are black men who never address those things, and that is destroying our community. The black woman is the least married. There's a reason for that. She's the first to file for divorce. There's a reason for that. She aborts her babies more than anybody. How you claim to love FBA but never address that? That's crazy.
Yep. You're going to have, see, with that, Red, when you have more families, you're going to have more black boys growing up to be black men. That means you're going to have more boys that are less likely to join gangs, less likely to be toting guns, less likely to be killing each other. Because what's the most dangerous thing to a young black man? Another young black man. You ain't sitting up looking at nobody else sideways but another brother, wondering what he on. And we don't have that camaraderie we used to have, 50, 60 years ago. When we see another black man, we happy to see another black man. We looking at another black man, trying to see what kind of time he on. Is he gonna trip? Where he from? Who he with, who he run with. Do I know any of them dudes? Why they staring over here? That's not what we should be on. But that's female energy being raised by a female that acts like that. More family units we have, Red, things will start to get better in the black community. There's going to be less gangbanging. There's going to be less unaliving. A lot of things start, which a lot of black women don't want to admit, with them. And it starts in the home. I grew up with several brothers that ain't here no more. And a lot of them was raised in single black homes where I seen a problem and they were coddled. You know what I'm saying? They were a lot like I done watched so many brothers go home and lie to their mama, and I'm like, this Negro lying his butt off. That was him, mama. I swear I didn't do nothing. They said I had the gun. I didn't even have the gun, and I'm like, why this Negro? He the one had the gun. He know he's lying his butt off. You know what I'm saying? But she believe everything because that's her baby. She gonna support him and believe, but then she ain't looking at herself like, well, how did you raise him? Did you ever raise him to be accountable? Because she never probably got raised to be accountable. Period. It's a cycle that just continues to repeat and repeat and repeat. And when someone sees a problem in the black, and I've noticed this a lot, where someone sees a problem in the black community, I understand black people getting upset because white folks interject. You blacks do this, but you can't just say it's white folks, because when black folks do it, you act the same exact way. You don't want to be held accountable. You want to argue, you want to fight. You don't know what you're talking about. You can't tell me nothing. I raised my son. My son is a good son. He don't act like that, blah, blah, blah. Next thing I know, this Negro in jail, locked up. Oh, he didn't do that. He even said, so he said he didn't do that. So you're not going to admit that you played a role in why he act the way he act. Because if you want to know how your son was, if he's in the street all the time, if he's running the street all the time. See, with my kids, I used to always watch who they hung around. Me and my homeboys, we used to always talk about that. What's your kids wearing? Do he got on blue belts? Do he got on blue shoestrings? Yeah, he crippin'. He got on a red hats all the time. Go through his clothes. Let me look at his clothes. His clothes, damn, he sure got a lot of red in his closet. Yeah, he got red shoelaces. Yeah, man, barely any blue. Oh, he got one baby blue shirt over here. He hardly ever wear it. Yeah, he blood. You know what I'm saying? He pie ruined. Those are the things you got to watch. You can't watch that mama while you at work. You don't know what he putting on going to school. This nigga banged out at school, but you talking about he ain't no gangbanger. Look at the people he run with. Do they look like gangbangers? What they look like? They all dressed similar. Yeah, he probably banging. You know what I'm saying? Do you go through his backpack to see what is in his backpack daily? You go through his drawers, you go through his room, or do you say, oh, that's his room, I'm not going to go in there? Shoot. If it's under my roof, I'm looking in everything. Backpacks, I'm looking in drawers, I'm looking in closets, I'm looking in shoe boxes. I know the game because I know what I did. That's why a father is important. Period. Because he lays the foundation about what's going to happen and what's not. And not only he lays the foundation, I know you ladies don't say, I lay rules down too, but can you enforce those rules?
Man.
If he walk out that house, what you gonna do? Jump on his back?
Hey, man, that's a good point, man. But you know, the problem with a lot of our brothers, and yeah, you do got to watch the dress code and watch what they're doing. You got to monitor all of that because you just, you know, you want to be a good parent. These are things that you must monitor. But see, a lot of black men who are FBA content creators, this is what they say. Well, I don't want to hold black women accountable for being the least married. I don't want to hold black women accountable for having the most babies out of wedlock. I don't want to hold black women accountable for filing for divorce more than any other woman. I don't want to hold a black woman accountable for aborting their babies more so than any other race woman. Because if I do that, then that means that I'm bashing them. You guys are weak. That's the problem. You're weak. And you're too afraid. Listen, if our women abort their babies more than any other race of women, that's a major problem. How you claim to love FBA but never address that? These are our future. Listen. Do you know how many babies our women have aborted over the last 20 years? Man, those numbers are crazy. Why do you think the Democrats promote abortions to our women so much? Because they want us to destroy each other. They don't want our numbers and population to grow. So how could you say that you love FBA as a black man and you're a content creator, but you never address the fact that black women abort their babies more than any other race of women? I'm not bashing our sisters. I love our sisters. I want them to stop doing that. I'm not saying that because I'm trying to attack them. I'm saying this because I want them to stop aborting their damn babies and have sex responsibly. So when you have sex, you have a baby with a man that you don't. When you get pregnant, you don't mind having a baby because this is the type of man that you want to be with. But when you're out here just busting it wide open and you get pregnant by some guy that you met at the club, you abort the baby because you know he's not going to be a father. But if you was more responsible with your womb, you wouldn't get pregnant by a guy that you know that's not going to be a father. But when you have reckless sex with men that you don't know, that's why you run to the abortion clinic, because you are irresponsible with your womb. And you got these simps in the FBA community who happen to be black men. They never take the time to address why black women abort their babies more than any other race of women. And that's a major problem. And these simps never address that.
Exactly. They don't want to see the problem. We ain't bashing them. We're trying to give them constructive criticism and let them know we see an issue. Who better to correct them than the black man?
Right.
You know, because you sure don't want to be corrected by the Mexican man or the white man, and you shouldn't be. You're our women, so we have to do the correcting, and that's exactly what we're doing. But you also have to take correction. We can't fight with you and get you to do it. We can't argue with you and get you to do it. We can't shame you and get you to do it. You got to be more open-minded. Like Red just said, you got to guard your womb. Your womb should be something that is guarded, not something you just give away on a daily basis to whoever, because you start feeling the little feeling and tingling down there. So you got to go do your daily and get a womb away, you know, without protecting it. That's supposed to be something you protect. You're supposed to basically look at it as, this only goes to someone that's special to me, not to some dude that I took home because I was drunk and he was drunk, and then we gonna make a mistake, and then when he ain't no longer around because I'm 6 months pregnant and I can't find the dude, and I find out he got a whole nother girl somewhere across town pregnant, then I'm sitting up here looking like a fool. No, but we gave you the correction, but you just didn't want to hear it. You didn't want to listen. You didn't want to accept it. Like I said, Red, this is a problem in our community that should, number one, be corrected by our community. And if our women are out of order, that's on us to put them back in order. So keep preaching that, Red, and we gonna stay on top of their heads. Y'all could hate us, just like I said about my kids. You could hate me, that must mean I'm doing something right because I'm touching a nerve. I'm getting through to you. You want me to shut up, but I'm not gonna shut up until the correction is done. Keep preaching that, Red. So anybody wants to, oh, he just keep talking about this. I see y'all in the comments. Why Red always keep bringing the same stuff up? Because it continues to be a problem. You always address a problem. You don't just let go of something if you're trying to resolve something. You keep addressing it until something is done about it. Nothing's been done. Y'all still out here giving the womb away. Y'all still, as he said, aborting the most babies. You know, ask yourself, why is there gun shops all over LA, all over our communities? Because you go over in the Westwood, you don't see that. Why is it a liquor store in all our communities, every corner you turn? What's the
Yeah.
conspiracy there? They putting everything for us to unalive. Why you walk in the liquor stores and it's vapes in there, it's drug paraphernalia, but if you take that and get caught with that drug paraphernalia in your car, they take you to jail.
Yeah.
But
See,
but the agents is allowed to sell it.
yeah. Yeah. See, the thing is, you're right, 100%, bro. See, I always is why I said, hold on, black men are unaliving each other in record breaking numbers. I don't want to hear that white people do it too. The fact that we're doing it in record breaking numbers, game banging and unaliving each other, that's a major problem. And I talk about that. I have those conversations on my platform a lot. So, and on the flip side, no other race of woman aborts her babies in the same numbers that black women abort their babies. No other race of woman gets rid of their babies at the rate that black women do. So if you a foundational black American man and you never address black women about why they abort their babies and record-breaking numbers, you're pandering. You're saying things that they want to hear, but you're not being honest with them about their character flaws. You are pandering 100%. Nobody aborts their babies at the same rate that the American black woman does. And you got all these guys who claim to be FBA and never address that. Never address that. Kaya.
Exactly.
So what I'm saying is this, Kaya, if you got something to say, why don't you just hit the link and pull up and add to the conversation? Because it's easy for you to type in the comment section. I didn't make up no lies. No other race of woman aborts their babies in the same numbers that American black women does. I'm not lying. If you think I'm lying, look at the numbers yourself. They are killing our babies. They're unaliving our babies. Why you think our population now? I'm not letting black men off the hook because black men do unalive a lot of black men, and we got to stop gangbanging. We got to put blackness above gangbanging. I talk about these weak ass black men who do that all the time. But at the same time, nobody's aborting their babies at the same numbers that the American black woman does. And you got all these so-called conscious brothers, whether they be Pan-Africans or foundational black Americans, they never have conversations about why black women abort their babies more so than any other race of women. These guys are too scared to have that conversation. Why? Because they're too afraid to offend black women. This is why they'll never tell them the truth.
Hey, Red, let me address her also. Kai, MLK didn't know that the Planned Parenthood was going to be used like a McDonald's drive-through. That's a difference. He didn't know that the numbers was going to be skyrocketing of promiscuity, or whatever it's called, promiscuity among women, to just go out here and be basically loose with their womb, and then the next day, you know, they ready to go through the drive-through to get that baby sucked out of them. It's a difference. You know, look more up the history. Don't say I don't know the history, because I do know the history. I know a lot of history. I can educate you. If Red dropped that link, bring yourself up, and maybe you can get some knowledge that you didn't know, because you're just speaking out of turn. You talking about get better women, but you seem to me to be like that same type of combative woman, because you're in the comments and you just keep talking and just keep talking and just keep talking, and the things you say have no substance to it. If you have a voice and you want to speak, come on up. Like Red said, come on up. Let's hear what you got to say. You know, and you could put your opinion up there in against a public opinion. You know, because Red dropping facts and dropping knowledge. My boy always back up anything he say with facts. You can go look it up. What Red always said, don't take my word for it. Go look it up.
Yeah, go look it up. Nobody aborts their babies more than the American black woman. If you think I'm lying, go look it up for yourself. go look. And then I don't know why Nigerians and Jamaicans, Nigerians and Jamaicans got the highest rate of paternity fraud. So what does that tell you about that? What does that tell you about them? Those women out there having reckless sex and they don't know who the daddy is, so they just blame somebody. This is why Nigeria and Jamaica got the highest rates of paternity fraud, because they're out there having reckless sex and they just blame it on a man that they like the most, or who has the most money.
Yep, exactly. So, like I said, y'all keep rocking with Red. Drop something in the donation plate. You know what I'm saying? And show him some respect. Put some respect on his name, because you ain't gonna get this nowhere else. Ain't nobody else gonna give you the 100% truth. Your true ones are here because you know he's speaking the truth. That's why the true ones is here. That's why the true ones continue to still rock with him and bless the Cash App. and bless anything else that Red has set up for you to make your donations. Because this ain't free, man. YouTube time ain't free. And he's doing his part to put us up on game. And I concur with everything he say because I'm from LA also. I'm from the same neighborhood my man's from. He's just seen the same thing. I'm just a different generation. You know what I'm saying? I'm 56 years old, almost 57. You know what I'm saying? So he picking up where I left off. We done seen it. So one thing y'all can't tell us, you can't tell us about the streets. You can't tell us about immigration. You can't tell us about these females. You definitely can't tell us about black females. And you can't tell us how society views us. And you sure can't tell us we don't know what the solutions is. We telling you. Now, if you want to take it and run with it, that's fine. But if you don't and choose to just stay ignorant, that's also your choice too. But don't complain. And I'm going to leave it at that, Red.
Shout out to Scoop, man. I appreciate you for pulling up, my brother. I'm gonna end this show, man. Scoop pulled up and did his thing. Somebody said that I support Donald Trump, right? No, I support Donald Trump's views on immigration and closing the borders. See, a lot of you people don't have common sense. You've listened to be Red as a Donald Trump supporter. No, I support Donald Trump on mass deportation. I support Donald Trump's policies on illegal immigration. That doesn't mean that I agree with everything that Donald Trump says. Donald Trump is against illegal immigration. I support him on that. I support him on that. Now, I don't agree with a lot of things that he do, but when it comes to closing the borders and deporting illegal immigrants, I'm rocking with that 100%. I'm rocking with that 100%. You know? I call black men all out. I call black men out all the time for gangbanging and unaliving each other, decreasing our population. I hold black women accountable all the time for aborting our babies in record-breaking numbers. If the black women stop having sex with guys that they're not in a relationship with or married to, they wouldn't find the need to abort their babies. But when you're having raw sex and random sex with guys that you met at the club or guys that you met on the dating site, you get pregnant, he dipped. Now you got to run to the abortion clinic. At that point, you are irresponsible with your womb. We need more FBA channels having these conversations with black women, telling them to stop being irresponsible with their womb. When you're irresponsible with your womb, that's why you feel the need to abort that baby, because you know the guy that got you pregnant is not going to be a father to that child. So now you want to abort that child because you had reckless sex with a guy that you barely know, or maybe you don't even know this dude at all, but you still gave up your womb. Now you're running to the abortion clinic because you got a baby by a guy that you don't know. And let me say this to you, black men. If you claim to love FBA and you want us to do better, at some point you have to address the black woman and tell her that she needs to stop having reckless sex, irresponsible sex, to the point to where she got to run to the abortion clinic because she got pregnant by a guy who was not her husband. Now, how you claim to be FBA, but you never take the time to address the fact that nobody aborts their babies like American black women. At that point, you're just pandering to black women and you never hold them accountable for anything. You guys are a part of the problem. I don't care if you talk about tethers, immigrants, and white supremacists all day. If you never take the time to address why the black woman aborts her babies more than any other race of women, if you never address that, then you're not really rocking with FBA. You are pandering to FBA for easy money. Period. Black women aborting our babies in record-breaking numbers is a major problem to our community. It's a major problem when it comes to the growth of our population. Maybe if they got pregnant by guys that they was married to, they wouldn't feel the need to run to the abortion clinic. But you ain't gonna say that. You're too afraid to offend them. I hold black men accountable about gang banging and unaliving each other. I did a show about that 2 days ago about how black men are done for gang banging and unaliving each other. I made a whole live stream dedicated to that 2 days ago. So don't think for 1 second that I never hold a black man accountable. I told the black man, stop having babies with women if you don't want to take care of them. Stop gang banging and unaliving each other. So I hold a black man accountable all the time. I don't just hold black women accountable. I hold black men accountable as well. I don't let the black man off of the hook just because I'm a black man. There's a lot of things that the black man needs to do better. You feel me? Make sure that you guys bless that like button. Support the Cash App if you haven't already. You know, unfortunately, you got a lot of people who are flip-floppers and they just, that just is what it is. But one thing I'm gonna continue to do is stand on business. I'm gonna continue to tell you the truth, regardless of who likes it. I'm gonna give you guys the truth regardless of who likes it. Stop claiming that you love foundational black Americans if you never take the time to address why black women abort their babies more so than any other race of women. How you claim to be FBA, but you never take the time to address that. Anyway, man, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. It's Play Upon the King Supreme. Shout out to C-Mac for blessing the super chat. Shout out to my man Trayvon for blessing the Cash App. I tell you, listen, I'm gonna tell you guys the truth. I'm not gonna pander to you. If I gotta lose subscribers and supporters for telling the truth, well, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be honest with you all across the board. I'm not gonna pander to you just to get your financial support. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Then you know, it'll be up to you whether you want to support or not. But one thing you're gonna get is me. One thing that you're gonna get from King Supreme is the truth, regardless if you like it or not. What I look like talking about white supremacy, tethers, and immigrants, but I refuse to address the fact that black women abort their babies more so than any other race of women. You're simping. If you refuse to address that, then you're simping for the women. You're pandering to them to get their support and money. You're not being honest with them. Black women aborting their babies and record-breaking numbers aborting their babies more so than any other race of woman. That's a major problem. How you claim to love FBA, but you never take the time to address that? Nobody files for divorce at the same rate that nobody files for divorce at the same rate that the American black woman does. But none of you FBA black men address that. Very few of you will. You got a handful of us that will address that, but the majority of us won't. They pretend like it's not a problem. They ignore that. Who files for divorce more than the American black woman? No other race of woman does. Nobody aborts their children at the same rate that American black woman does. But you got all these FBA men who never take the time to address that. But they claim to love FBA. But you don't care about the fact that our babies are being aborted by our women. Why do these women abort their babies? Because they have sex with guys that they meet at the club. They have sex with guys that they met on a dating site. They have sex with a guy that they met with their friends last. They had sex with a guy that they met with their friends last night. So as a result of that, they abort the babies because they know the man that they had sex with don't want to be a father to the children. So they abort the babies. These women are irresponsible with their womb. That's why they run to the abortion clinic to abort their babies, because they're getting pregnant by men that they don't even know. You had sex with a guy that you met at a party. You had sex with a guy that you met at the club. You had sex with a guy that you met on a dating site. You had sex with a guy that you met with your friends last night. You're getting pregnant by men that you don't know. So next thing you know, you run to the abortion clinic to abort the babies. Black women, y'all got to have more respect for your womb. And if you had more respect for your womb, you wouldn't give your womb to some random guy that you don't even know because you was drunk at a party, because you was drunk at a club, so you gave up your womb. Black men, you got to stop gang banging and unaliving each other. You ignorant fools in Chicago, Los Angeles, and major cities across the country, you are decreasing our population with this gang banging and unaliving each other. Shame on you, weak black men. We got to learn to take pride in our blackness. We are foundational black Americans, and we need to stand on business. Black women, stop aborting your babies. Black men, Black women, stop aborting your babies. Black men, stop unaliving each other because of gang culture. It is stupid at this point, and I am sick of it. I'm going to sit up there and address this every chance I get. If you don't want to hear the truth, get the hell on. I don't care. Black men, stop gangbanging and unaliving each other. Black women, stop aborting your babies. Anyway, man, I'm going to get up out of here, man. Ain't nobody going to bring this heat like King Supreme. You got guys who will dance around the issue, but they'll never address the problem. You got guys who will dance around the issue, but they'll never address the problem because they're too weak to address the problem and speak on things for what it actually is. The solution is never hard. The solution is never rocket science. It's rare that the solution is rocket science. Black men, you don't want to go to jail, stop hanging in the streets, do something productive, raise your children, get out of the streets, black men. Black women, stop being promiscuous to the point to where you got to abort your babies because you had sex with a guy that you met at a party. You had sex with a guy that you met at the club. The solution is never rocket science. A crackhead knows that he needs to stop smoking crack, but in most cases, he don't have the discipline to stop doing it. A gambler knows that he needs to stop gambling, but he don't have enough discipline to do it. But at the same time, he has enough common sense to know what the solution is. Huh? Somebody who's funky and musty knows that they need to take showers consistently to stop being musty. The problem is they don't have enough discipline to do it. Huh? A woman who's promiscuous knows that she needs to stop being promiscuous, but the problem is she ain't got enough discipline to stop being promiscuous. But at the end of the day, she got enough common sense to know what the solution is. So when people say, what's the solution? You're not being real. The solution is always staring you right in the face. If you were fat, overweight, and out of shape, then at some point you say, what? Maybe I need to exercise. Even I need to exercise more and eat better. I know that. I understand the solution. The problem is discipline. Most of us don't have enough discipline to get the results that we are looking for, but don't for 1 second think that we don't know what the solution is. All of us got enough common sense to know what the solution is. I'm sick of our people making excuses for degenerate behavior. I'm sick of our people making excuses for degenerate behavior. The reality of it is this. A lot of our women are feminists. Now, shout out to the sisters who are not feminists. Shout out to the black sisters who stand on business. But the reality of it is, if you go to the black church, the majority of those black women in these black churches are feminists. A lot of our women in the FBA movement, they are feminists. And a lot of black men refuse to address the fact that a lot of our women are feminists. Shout out to First Class Citizen for the Cash App. I appreciate you, First Class Citizen, for the Cash App. A lot of our women have subscribed to feminism. A lot of our black women are feminists. And a lot of brothers in the FBA movement refuse to address this. They won't do it because they're too afraid to offend black women by telling them the truth, by being honest with them. So they'll pretend like they don't see the same things that I see. I don't want to offend black women, so I ain't going to hold them accountable. I ain't going to say nothing about that. I'm just going to talk about tethers, immigrants, and white supremacists. I ain't going to hold a black woman accountable for aborting their babies more so than any other race of woman. I ain't going to hold a black woman accountable for that. And that's the mindset of a lot of our brothers who are FBA content creators. The solution is always staring you in the face. The solution is never rocket science. You need money, get a job to get money. You got enough common sense to know that you need a job to make money. Somebody who's broke that don't have a job knows that they need to get a job, but the problem is he ain't got enough discipline to keep a job. Stop pretending like you don't know what the solution is. Well, what's the solution, Red? What's the solution? Stop playing stupid. You know what the solution is. Keep your legs closed. Stop giving your wound out to random guys that you don't know, but you ain't got enough discipline to stop doing that. But you got enough common sense to know what you need to stop doing. Quit playing games. We'll get up out of here, man. Should play it, partner, King Supreme. I had to give y'all that heat. Because a lot of these FBA brothers, they won't do that. They'll talk about tethers, immigrants, and white supremacists all day, but they'll never hold a black woman accountable for anything. I'm not saying that we need to make videos bashing our sisters, but at some point, we got to be honest with them if we're looking to make progress. At some point, we got to be honest with the black woman if we're looking to make progress. And the sad part about it is a lot of our brothers who are FBA content creators, they refuse to hold a black woman. They refuse to hold the black woman accountable for anything. They're too afraid to do it. So they avoid the conversation. I'm going to get up out of here, though, man. It's your player partner, King Supreme.